rapidly.
Oh,
Slap
yeah.
it, slap it, slap it, slap it, slap it, slap it.
This is about delivering great exclusive games for you that ship on platforms where Game Pass exists.
I miss this.
Hey, by the way, we're just starting this one off with Tim. Shout out to Tim. He's not here today, but he does say in the Super Chat, he says, sorry I couldn't make it today. Glad RDX is back. Sony's really pushing it lately. Have a great show. Yeah, Sony are really, really pushing it lately into. I'm not even going to go there. Listen, they're doing some really, really weird stuff lately. We're going to talk about some of that and so many other topics. So thanks for joining us, guys. Please hit the like button. Sorry we're like 20 minutes late. There was something I had to do with on the technical side, but not related to the other crap. I'll explain the internet issues and progress there. But again, just thanks for joining us. Hit the like button. Tell a buddy or two we're live as we do move forward. We've got some intros. D-Batch, how you been?
I'm good, man. We got some really awesome topics to talk about today. And I just want to apologize to the chat and everybody listening at home right now. If I'm outrageous today, blame Gaz. He gave me something before the show started, and just blame him.
Did it smell like chloroform, though? It did.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
Maybe you should have chloroformed.
That's kind of creepy.
Hey, Fonzarelli, buddy. How you been?
All right, I'm doing good. You know, I was late for the show, and I came in late, and you guys haven't even started. So I'm early. I was early. I was on time. I guess
You're doing big things.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, we've also got Gaz filling in for Tim Dog. Gaz, how you been?
Oh, wait, what? I'm a substitute? I thought I was a special
You're
guest.
a prostitute. How you been, Gaz?
Big difference.
Got him.
That was good.
It wasn't that big a deal. So, Gaz, thanks for joining us, man. We've also got Zalk87. How you been, brother?
Very good, man. Glad to be back. I know we took a little bit of a hiatus, but I'm glad to be here. And I just want to talk about all the news that's going on, especially all the remasters of the remaster. And I think you remastered this podcast again. So let's do it.
Woo! Now in 720.
No, this was remade. No, it's remade from the ground up using the PS5.
Got it. That SSD helps bullets go farther.
Y'all are being very, very toxic. Did you know that?
Yes,
Hey,
I did.
Hey,
We're
Fonz,
here.
Say something, Fonz, like in your normal voice.
I'm here, and yeah. So
His voice cracked there.
Okay.
Voice
yeah.
crack.
I'm here, and I'm eating applesauce. No.
I'm gonna turn this.
Like in your normal voice.
Turn
he's
it
like,
way
oh.
down.
Yeah, I think that's better, right, chat?
I don't know what's better or what's not.
You know
Oh,
what?
shit.
That's fine, Fonzarelli. I'm glad you're here, buddy, and I'm so
No,
sorry.
I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here, dealer.
I'm always
Come
here.
on.
But hey, long story
Except for last
short,
week.
long story short, my internet provider basically has to redo a whole bunch of shit. They're rebuilding the infrastructure around here. They basically said, yeah, there's a big problem at the node, and problem's not completely fixed. But I'm running the show at super low resolution and bitrate, so hopefully it'll stay up like it did before. Now, no promises, but if it does go down this week, I'm just going to come back with some kind of cloud solution where, I guess we'll do it that way.
Wow.
Shout out to our geek.
You're gonna Xbox it.
We're gonna
Nice.
we're gonna Phil Harrison it. But again, guys,
Ooh,
if you're
don't say that.
If you're here, hit the like button. Tell a buddy to we're live. We do appreciate you. Thank you very much. Shout out to Tim Dog. He'll be back next week. And of course, I got to get to my my little patron sponsor tier. You guys help power the show, power the channel, all that good stuff. And when Xbox actually release some news, we'll actually release some videos. But we do have Fierce Fuzz, Hargeet, Boba Fett Gaming, Reluctant Dodo, Nerdy Meathead. We've also got Dub Mobile, Ruben Almighty, Dave Incubus, Ricky Fallon, Faultlines, Not Silent, Bad Boy Live, Achievement, Nanopolymath. Yes, okay, I said that. Sorry, I don't know. I'm like all over the place. And we got Zoradin, Costanza, KY Bob, Goose 8402 Strike, Alifa Assassin, Lupa, Foreign Object, as well as Gab, Quisteo, John Blue, Vic Boss, Real Deal Neil, Suicide King, Taste the Genie, Michael Bowen, Guillermo Cavillo, All Might, Dark CMF, and Alfonso Hogan. That list fucked me up today. All right, so we do have a really, really good topic to start out with. It's something that Sony came out and confirmed today. It's kind of breaking news, as some people might say. They confirmed day and date coming to PC for PlayStation games, and they also said something else that's pretty interesting. So Herman Holst, he did.
They
an
said
interview.
fuck.
He did say fuck. He said there will be. He said he said fuck. He said there will be at least a year between PlayStation console and PC game releases. with the exception of live service games, which will be day and date on PC. So, again, I need to preface everything that's about to be said with the fact that they're very smart with this. They literally told you they're bringing day and date for the first time to PC in a way that many of you probably didn't really think about. They confirmed it, but then told you that it'll be a year before those PlayStation releases come to PC. There'll be a year stagger, right? So why again, after all the generations talk, after everything that they bullshitted us with, everything they lied about, Fonzarelli, how likely is it that it will really remain a year indefinitely for PlayStation 4 games, or 5 games rather, to come to PC?
Look, you can't trust any of these executives sometimes when they say certain things. We had generations, them believing in generations, and then look what happened. I think that they're going to do what's best for their bottom line. And eventually, what's best for their bottom line is just spreading those games out to other platforms where they could be sold. And the closer to the, release date, the better for a lot of people. So I think it'll get closer than a year. I don't think they're going to stay at that year, at least a year or whatever they're saying. For now, maybe, for the next, I don't know, few months or year, they might keep saying that, but eventually it's going to change. We all know that's going to change. How many times has Jim Ryan even said that, he's said things to allude to the fact that he wanted their games on, spread out. So I don't think that it's going to remain that way. No,
not at all. I don't think so. Gas.
Yeah,
when you heard this, right? You're confirming day and date on PC for the first time ever, right? This is a big thing. But when it comes to the PlayStation 5 games, what do you think's going to happen there?
Well, funny enough, in that statement, they also talked about assessing on a case by cases their cross-gen games. Like, they're going to extend that. Now, this is Microsoft. We gave them shit for saying you're going to support cross-gen for 2 more years, where Sony's extending that. So this case by case basis, I would, if you have any common sense, I would say don't stick to their wording about this 1 year minimal gap. There will come a game that breaches this strict 1 year at least policy, because even to get to that point, no one believed that they would get there. So this just posturing for a bit. Everything is a little disclaimer. They're focusing on mobile and everything else, and they said, yeah, but our single player games are still important. They say that almost in the same breath. So it's keeping up appearances. I think you'd be very naive to take that as gospel from Herman Hulse.
They're saying that, but at the same time, they say, oh, our exclusives are very, very important to us, blah, blah, blah. But then it's like, we're working on 12 gas games, people, because we need to find a way to make a lot more money. That's the bottom line there.
Well, and I also think that it's, I know people are like, oh, the single player games, right? Like, I've said it for a long time. I thought by end of next year, or at least end of 2024, they were going to start shifting towards being day and date on PC with everything. Now, for them to talk about just the games as a service, or their, games that they're going to have multiplayer on, like, one of the biggest studios that they have now in Bungie, all those games are going to be multi-platform and day and date on PC. A lot of the games that they've talked about making, which is games as a service, is the reason why they bought Bungie, because they don't have any idea how to make those games. A lot of people don't. So they brought in experts that made one of the best games as a service games ever in Destiny, and that's what they're going to do. Some of their biggest games are going to be these games, people. That is just a hard fact. So some of their biggest games and their biggest franchises are coming to PC day and date. So now, they didn't announce anything else, right? Like anything from any other studio. So this is not just Bungie games coming. This is going to be, if, let's say, Factions is a, multiplayer games as a service game. That's going to come to PC day and date, because you need that audience. And I think in a few years, like I said, a year to 2 years, they're going to start bringing it to PC anyways. So right now they're doing a lot of stuff. And if he does have that year, or at least a year, that means next year, by end of next year, we should be seeing Horizon Forbidden West. That means that we would see, God of War and all those other big games that they just dropping on PC, which, for a single player game, people can wait. Like you're not missing out on anything. Very
Yep.
few games that are single player, you know, Skyrim, Elden Ring, that like really take the industry by storm, make you buy a game, right? Like very few. So I'm looking forward to that because I've always said that I'd rather play them on PC. So I want to see it, and I think it's going to continue. And I think they're going to drop a lot of games as a service games because that's what they want to do, and that's what they're lacking completely in their thing. We've always talked about first-person shooters. We've talked about just online games in general with them. So Herman Holst, the funny thing is with that guy, every time he talks, he just tells you what it is. Like he's just very direct, says it, and goes, "This is what's going to happen." When Jim Ryan talks, people are like, "What the fuck is going on?" So it's like the guy, like I think Herman Holst is a very good communicator, and he doesn't bullshit. And that when you read that whole thing, he didn't really bullshit, man. He was like, "This was going to happen, and then case by case basis, we're going to do this," and that was it. And you understood their plan for a little while. So I think it's fucking awesome.
Let me give a few shout outs real quick, and I'm going to come to D. We got to thank the guys in the chat and the mods, Boss Mod, Lethal Baba, Obi, and so many others. We've also got Luca in the chat. She is a very long time and dear friend of the show and all of our personal friends. She's amazing. And, of course, everybody, just all of you. You're awesome. See Riskit and so many others that we see all the time in the chat. But, again, chat, I need something from you. I need you to let me know every single example of Sony lying about the PlayStation 5, just to test your knowledge. Type it in the chat if you remember that we believe in generations, or that Spider-Man Miles Morales is built from the ground up for the PS5.
Ground up.
There's 1,000 things that we can talk about. But yeah, Zalka, you're right. Factions, that's going to be one of the big games they're investing in. And he said it himself. That's going to go, or potentially go, maybe after that. I don't know how close that game is. But their aim is to send stuff like that to PC, right, D?
Yeah, I don't understand their logic.
Why?
Letting it stagger a year, your exclusives, is actually going to hurt them in sales, because PC gamers and console gamers are two different gamers. A PC guy's not going to say, "Oh shoot, it's not coming out on PC for a year. Let me go grab that PS5." He's not gonna. He's gonna wait the year. He might lose interest in that year. He might see some spoilers on a YouTube channel of the story and be disinterested in it. I don't think it's going to garner the same amount of sales as releasing it day and date, because they're really two different gamers, two different bases. And I agree with Gaz. I wouldn't believe a word what they say. It could change at the flip of a coin. Honestly,
yeah.
I think realistically we're going to see some games come out 6 months, maybe 3 months. I know Stray's not like a true first party exclusive, but it was still exclusive to the PlayStation platform, and that was, day and date on PC and PlayStation 5. So I see a lot of games will come day and date. I think some games won't for whatever reason, and I just think it's a poor strategy. I think if they truly want to compete with Microsoft, I think they need to be day and date. They need to realize that these are two different player bases. Like PC guys, maybe out of 100, 2 of them will grab a PlayStation 5. Those other 98 ain't grabbing it.
I gotta go against you here though, D. Because the one thing that it's different is that Sony, when they were bringing out their games, their first game was what, Horizon Zero Dawn. It was a shitty ass port. It sucked. They don't have the developers. I think they're doing it smart. I think they're doing it smart, man. Like I'm just saying, they're not trying to bring shit out that's broken.
They got
the
the
real reason they're
reason.
waiting a year to bring games to PC is because they don't have the manpower to do it all at one time.
Exactly.
They send those games they brought to PS5 to teams like Nexus, right? Ooh. And then they send that shit to PC. It's a matter of time before that time is dwindled down. As a matter of fact, we've already seen games released 6 months after the PS4 release. Things like Death Stranding, well, it came to PC. So, I mean, again, like I don't want to get into too much of that. Like, will PC gamers buy it?
Their own developers are doing it. Some of their own developers are doing it. That thing, that leak that came out that Jaffe was talking about, that like spreadsheet of like their whole timeline. Sony had like a big leak come out. A lot of like the House Marquee for Returnal, they're doing their own PC port.
Yeah.
A lot of the developers internally are doing
in the pipeline.
Yeah. So like all these people are doing their own thing, and I get it. Like, yeah, you want a day and date, but they're not gonna be able to do that. With the games as a service, that's where I agree with D. They're not, PC gamers are not going to wait, right? Like they're just not going to wait for it because it's about an experience with your friends at that time.
You're telling me
the
guys playing genital jousting, are really that anxious about going out and buying a PS5?
Well, genital jousting is a great game. You should get it. 1,000.
It's not on Xbox yet because they can't lock anything down.
How dare you? They have something
Oh.
games. No, but
One
I
thing-
like. But when you look at the other thing, there is resurgence in games. Like look at Cyberpunk, fucking 2 years later. Like look at it now. It's like has 1 million concurrent people playing it. It has crazy sales. It went on sale at the right time, and people went back to it because they fixed it.
And because
Like
yeah,
Well,
that's
they went
the
back to because of
difference.
the
but
anime.
what's that got to do
but-
with what we're talking about?
Because he was saying that they're not going to buy these games later on. Like people,
Well-
you can do whatever you want when they buy it later on.
No,
Yeah,
they are
but-
going to
yeah.
buy
I
it.
mean, but that's a very, very weird example. A game was broken at launch, and a lot of people waited. But again, I just don't want to get into the semantics of that. I'm just saying that this is the first time Sony are confirming day and date, right, on PC of any kind. And again, it's something that a lot of guys said would never ever happen. I'm not even gonna say that we told you so. I'm just done with I ain't been saying that shit. It gets old. Like it's one of those things where Sony are quite clearly very, very. They're in flux, man. They have no idea what the fuck's going on. They're telling on everybody about the deal, and people think that Microsoft are gonna outsmart the regulators and all this shit. And like, no, they're saying what they're saying for some reason publicly, but in the background, they're like, nah, bitch, you get 3 years. Yes. I want to hear more from you on this. Is Fonzarelli?
That was Jim Ryan crying.
Okay.
That was Jim Ryan crying.
Again, though.
Jim Ryan being a little bitch. He is being a bitch. Look, would you want me to say
You little
literally every narrative about PlayStation, having its exclusives, its studios being able to churn out, unmatchable exclusives, and you're telling me that all its myriad of its studios can't produce one multiplayer title that worth its salt, let alone one that can tackle COD. You bought Bungie, you can't do that, and you run off sneaking to the regulators to bitch and complain. And really that does have, you might say, well, you're taking it a bit too seriously, guys, but these guys are out here at war. There's $70 billion on the line. Phil Spencer and co won't take nicely to that, despite all the nice public posturing, because there's a lot on the line there. There's a lot jobs on the line there. If Activision Blizzard doesn't go through, then Activision Blizzard's shares will tank, and there will be massive layoffs. That's just a fact. That's what would happen. So it would be massively detrimental to the people working at it. The stakes are high. But when you strip all of that, what it really means is that PlayStation doesn't really have a proper appetite to compete, because this is the narrative of PlayStation Studios being untouchable, right at the top, at the apex of game development. And they can't bring it. They can't bring it, and they're not competing. And you got David Jaffe, who's ex-Sony developer. He says it's just fucking fight, and deliver those games.
Well, hang on. I
But
think
they're
you're
just
full of
buying
shit,
time.
guys. You're really full of shit because they're bringing the banger. Sackboy is coming to PC. It's coming to PC. It's going to be 4K, and obviously it's going to target 120 FPS. It's going to target. I mean, does anyone give a fuck about this?
Gaz is right, though. I mean, because Gaz is right, though, because how many times, are they going to look? The thing is, at the end of the day, they've relied heavily. I've said this before. They've relied heavily on their exclusives and, those single player experiences that they've had for so many years, and multi-plat deals to try to get, people over with COD and all that stuff. They've relied so much on that. Now that it's going to be taken away eventually, even if it's 6 years from now, they're hurting. That's going to hurt them big time because they don't have anything to answer for that. Just like Gaz is saying, they need to step up and do something there.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot of talented studios. I've said it before. They could take Guerrilla Games. They could take some people from Bungie and create a great first-person shooter. It's up to them. I mean, they're
positioned
got 6
like
years to do it.
The position like COD is the gaming industry. In their Brazilian rhetoric, they said it's a gaming category in its own right. It may be for you at PlayStation because you never bothered to actually develop a first-person shooter worthy of note. But it doesn't work like that because Nintendo does fine without Call of Duty. The industry doesn't need, per se, Call of Duty. It can survive. You can survive without Call of Duty. But the problem is, because of lack of competition, really, you sat on your ass for ages, and now you coasted on these third-party multi-platform exclusivity deals, and now that kills you in any argument you bring forward to any regulatory body, because Microsoft as a counter can say, here we go, here's your legacy of money hatting from PlayStation 1 days with Tomb Raider 2. So it's just weak. It makes PlayStation look weak, and all the fanboys who do rally behind this deal falling through, also by extension, it makes you look stupid. So
Well, that's
PlayStation
something I brought
let
up.
me give a
I
shout
brought
out to
up in a
Donnie
party.
Skills, by the way. He says, basically he's saying that when we're saying Halo Infinite is dead, now all of a sudden Cyberpunk is the best thing. You can't make this stuff up. Donnie, you just did. Nobody said that.
Yeah,
what we
said
are
that.
saying though is that when things get improved and they there's a market there, that's not the point. The point is, hey, Sackboy's coming out October 27th, guys. That's coming to
I hate
PC,
Yeah.
and y'all aren't giving it the
Yeah.
due justice.
The one thing I will say about like
God
Jim
damn
Ryan
it.
and all the bullshit, you're on the Sackboy and I like it, but I'll
Sackboy.
move on from that. The one thing I'm gonna say is that everybody that's hoping for this deal to like fall through or whatever they're saying, like Xbox opening up, like that website is telling Xbox doing all this stuff. Like this is gonna be a long battle for like the next 9 months. But what I will say is this: if they're going to complain about like Xbox buying this stuff or Microsoft buying all this stuff, if the deal does fall through, what the fuck do you think is going to happen? Do you think Xbox and Microsoft are going to stop? No, they're going to just do what Sony does and they're going to money hat. And let me tell you, they got deeper pockets. They'll just go up to other developers, money hat it, and then what is Sony going to do? They can't complain because they're doing the same fucking thing. So
Yep.
that's what's going to happen. It's going to turn into them doing something different. I've talked about this with a lot of people. Oh, that's what some people are not thinking of. And that's going to happen. You think the Final Fantasy deal was, like, oh shit, it's not coming to Xbox? Wait till that shit happens and Microsoft doesn't get the deal and they have more money to spend now because they didn't spend the 70 billion. And they're like, all right, they lost 3 billion on that. That's nothing to them. And they just go and they just start buying exclusives and locking down publishers and being like, oh, make a game for 5 years. It's exclusive, blah, blah, blah. That's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
that's
imagine if they
exactly
went to
what's gonna
COD, if
happen.
they didn't get the deal and they went to COD and they went to all these other big games and they're like, we'll pay you for 4 years of exclusivity.
Yep.
You're basically fucking them over either way. But again, that's all hypothetical. The deal is, like I said, I'd have never thought it's been in danger of not going through. I hate it that Microsoft came out today and started up a damn website about this ABK deal, their little eHarmony page, basically trying to convince people.
It's more to do with Google.
Yeah, it's ridiculous is what it is. And now you got people coming out saying, this is concerning. I mean, we're going to hear about this shit for the next fucking month now. But it's just, I wish Microsoft would quit talking about it, honestly.
Would it have been concerning if Sony had the money to do it and they were going to buy ABK? I mean, would it be concerning then? I doubt it. I highly doubt the media. I highly doubt most other companies would be tripping like this. It's because it's Microsoft at the end of the day. A lot of people hate Microsoft. And that's just it, man. It comes down to just this pure hatred of Microsoft when it comes to this stuff. Because let's be honest, how many times, I mean, look, Sony has bought so many studios. Sure, they're not on the scale of buying this big publishing arm and everything else too, but damn it, they've done the same type of things. They've done what they could have afforded to buy. That's what they've done. And if they could have afforded the ABK deal, they would have done it themselves. I mean, let's not, and they would have made the games exclusive. I'm sorry, but that's what Sony would have done. And they wouldn't have gave a 3-year extra deal or whatever to Microsoft.
Yep.
That wouldn't have happened. Not at all.
No,
Sony is
no,
way
no.
more cutthroat
But all
than
the
people
studios
let
I had to
put
on.
buy a
together,
PS4 to play
like,
Spider-Man.
let's be real. Like all the studios they bought put together equal like 2 of the Call of Duty studios out of like the 16. Like it's not even on the same scale or level. Like I'm just like let's just call it what it is. And the ABK deal, like I said, it's just it's just getting annoying at this point. There's so much the biggest thing is them going public. Like that is like holy shit, they're having this fight out in public and everybody's watching. It's like damn, people are busting out their phones, fucking World Star. It's like it's just stupid. Like
No one
they're
does
going
that
all
anymore.
out, bro.
Like this isn't going to hurt me if the
World
deal
Star?
doesn't go through.
Yeah, dude, it's like they're fighting in the streets and people are like, World
Hey.
Star. Like and then you see Phil Spencer punching him, Jim's punching. It's just like damn. It's like this shit's like they're really fighting at
It's
this.
more
because
like
this
Jim's
is a big
running off
deal.
and
Yeah.
sounding like a bitch. I mean, that's pretty much.
But I mean,
I mean,
honestly,
you know what you got to do.
if this deal doesn't go through, it's not going to hurt my soul at all. It's not going to make me feel bad in any way, shape, or form. But what it is going to do, it's going to suck because, again, you guys brought it up. There's going to be more money hatting going on. There's going to be freaking just stupid, timed exclusive things happening more and more. Sony's not going to stop doing that now, so that's going to continue on with them. But I'm just saying, it's stupid. Like if it doesn't go through, it will it lessens competition a bit, because this, I feel like it's lighting a fire under Sony's butt right now. I feel like Sony is trying, and a lot of people are like, yelling at me because I said this before. Now Sony has to try to compete with a COD. And it's not saying Sony's not at the top and Sony's not above Microsoft, but I'm saying they're going to have to compete against COD. They're going to have to innovate and do new things with some new IPs and stuff over there at Sony. Finally, not just your third-person action adventure gaming there at Sony. They're going to have to make a proper FPS again. They tried with whatever that game was. I forgot the name of it. No. The first-person shooter that they killed. Just Killzone. But they're going to have to do something else. They're going to have to do something else, and this pushes them to do so. And again, competition, breeding innovation. This is what we need. This is what we want. That's the only reason why I want to see this deal go through, because it's going to further push Sony. Sony's going to do even better. And then Microsoft's, going to be elevated as well. We're going to have some real stiff competition, and that's what we need as gamers. That's what we need.
So, Fonz, how do we stop the next acquisition? How do we stop Xbox from just buying everything, huh?
How do we stop them? You can't really. I mean,
after this deal is done,
come on,
it will be harder for them, but they can still do it. Even if it's smaller scale one, they'll still face resistance. But they've just added a big chunky Activision under their belt. It will make it harder. But why are we talking about that, man? They don't need anything after Activision. Well, maybe Japan, a Japanese outfit.
I was just about to say
hang on a second. Let me go ahead and stop something real quick, because that's the dumbest shit I ever heard. Gaming beyond the box. That is not why you got demodded. And for you to just say that like it's a fact is silly. So hit me up in the DM and I'll let you know. It was, and also it was definitely not a few weeks either. So it's not, that's not the point. Point is, do some things different on the channel, and just hit me up in the DMs if you want to talk about it. But don't make assumptions like that. I'm not like that. But go ahead, Gaz.
What I was going to say is, when in the history of gaming in this industry have you seen a bitch move by any exec like this? And it come from a Sony guy, basically begging, basically posturing, preventing a deal from going for the competitor that will lessen competition and strike out against. They're going to a third party to complain. I haven't seen anyone do that before. I haven't seen anyone complain like this and be prohibitive to a deal going through. What does that mean for the future relationship between Microsoft and Sony? And what happens if, and I'd be very surprised if it falls through, I'm very excited about the notion after the fact that, if it falls through, Microsoft will need to go full scorch earth on this. And it's not just, dramatization on our part and, core fans who wants to see all of this excitement. It's really because one thing I hate about the way it's such a bullshit facade, like play nice, be nice. And there's Paris Lilly's polishing his head saying, be nice, don't be nice, don't. They're all friends here. When in the reality of business, everywhere outside in the real world, people are cutthroat. So I want Microsoft and Xbox to be cutthroat as well. When I saw this news website thing in there, they produced this table with why it's good for gamers, why it's good for companies and competition. I did think, what the fuck who's this for? Who's going to read this? The regulators? I hope you have something more substantive to submit to the regulators, because I just want Xbox to drop the nice guy act and just be a little bit
customers, because the FTC goes to consumers and does poll. That's what the FTC is. It's not a federal thing. It's for people that are consumers, and they get a bunch of consumers together and ask them these questions, how they do their process. It is for the American people.
Consumers, you're going to have that guy who's begging POTUS to cancel the deal, like all these fake pony.
That's why they're putting out the website. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just, they're going to ask consumers. It's going to be a poll. There's going to be a bunch of stuff that they do behind the scenes and ask American citizens what they think of the deal. Like, that is how FTC does a lot of their stuff. At least that's from what I've read and what I've known from them, is that they do it like that. It's for competition and the American people. It's not for the legislators or anything like that. So that's what Xbox is trying to do. That's what Microsoft's trying to do. is get that bad PR from people around, because like you said, a lot of people don't like Microsoft, a lot of people don't like Apple, a lot of people don't like Google, bullshit like that. They got to do it that way. So that's what it's for.
When you said it's for Google, what did you mean by that?
No, I'm saying people don't like Google. Like all these companies do this when they try to do something like this. Like nobody likes, like, people don't like Microsoft, people don't like Google. Like these companies, these tech companies have to do things to get people to be on their side, which is the American people, which is the
This
consumer.
propaganda pamphlet that you used to drop like wartime from a plane. It's not
Pretty fucking much. Buy bonds, bitch. Like that's what it
War
is.
bonds.
Like it's just war bonds. Get them now. Like that's kind of what this whole thing is. That's what the FTC is. Now the one in Europe and the one in the UK, that's legislation. That's all those. They have a different process, and so that's why Jim Ryan's going over there. They're just basically, it's all lobbying now. It's all lobbying and just trying to get it to go through. And for how, like, I don't think, like, I think the deal's going to go through. I hope it does next year, March, whatever. But I do think that it's going to be very competitive, and I think Microsoft's not foolish enough to think that they're okay. So they're covering every fucking angle.
Yep.
Yeah, there's big stakes
let
here.
me again. I got a shout out to a few people in the chat. We got Astray Gaming. We got Boba Fett. Wow, he's got a YouTube channel. Both of them do. Check him out. We've also got Risk It. They run a podcast. Xbox Infinite. Shout out to those guys, as well as so many others, including Hargate. Zalker, cue some of these chats that we haven't got any so far. So we'll go ahead and rattle through some of these and answer a question or two. But again, guys,
Thanks.
if you're here, hit the like button. Tell a buddy or two we're live. We started about 20 minutes late, and just thanks for joining us, guys.
Yeah, and thanks Hargy Johnny again, buddy, for sending me these on Discord. So it's Danny Gaming. Question: do you think Xbox will lower Activision Blizzard games price to match current Xbox games, or will Xbox raise their prices to match AB games price? That is a good fucking question, actually. I have no idea. I think by the time the deal goes through, hopefully they lower it, and if not, they're going to put it 70, and that'll suck, and we'll talk shit about it. The good thing about that is we do have Game Pass, which is great, but at the end of the day, if you're charging $70 for games, I'm going to get annoyed.
Yep.
That's a good question, honestly. That's really good. I'll see what they do.
Yeah.
We got
$1
Bit
billion.
Rinaldi, Jim Flying Ryan being petty as fuck. Must know he won't stop the deal. Xbox probably won't even rise from last place. Hello, McFly. Kinda pathetic, honestly. Damn.
All right.
We got Magna and Magnamon. I don't know. Zalker loves Randall. Randolph, of course I do. I think Sony is in trouble and hoping their remakes will hold them over. Yeah, they're trying to double dip on their games multiple times. Why create an entire new game when you can just add a new polish of paint on it and sell it for $70?
Oh man.
Only on Xbox. Remember, for 5 months. Jim the Rat Ryan doing everything he can to stop the ABK deal, and there's a rat emoji at the end of it. That's hella cute.
Damn.
I like it.
Where'd you
We
get
got
that little rat from?
Calypso. We got Calypso 3. Member for 4 months. Sony crying so bad Xbox made a website. We got Risk It. He says, not only will there be layoffs, companies no one wants purchasing ABK will start bidding on the company as whole, or worse, they'll put it to pieces. I don't know what the fuck you're trying to say there, Risk It.
I
Not
like
gonna lie.
putting stuff to pieces.
No one knows what Risk is trying to say.
Shout out to Risk.
I got Risk It. Drawn TJ wanted to stop by and show support. I'll watch after I'm done at the gym. Nice, man. Get your cardio in. We got Hargi Chani. He says, when PlayStation entered the market, we still had a vibrant market with many platforms: TG16, Jaguar, 3DO, Neo Geo, Sega, Nintendo. PlayStation comes in, uses their money, eliminates all the competition. Shoes on the other foot now, Sony.
Damn, Hargy.
Damn, Hargi. Take it easy.
Dropping bombs.
Whoa. Take it
That's
easy.
a great shout, by the way, Hoggy.
Hargy's
You know,
always
it's a
got
good way to
something,
see it.
Hargi's always got some up his fucking sleeve. He just throws it out there, smacks a couple people, and runs back to his little games. I like him.
One time he just talked in a party for like 5 minutes about the smell of strawberries.
And they
Had
were
us all
and they were
thinking.
immaculate. I had a
Yeah.
bowl after.
All right. a bowl
we
of dicks.
got Top Shotta. Whoa. You're not involved in that.
Oh.
We got Top Shotta. Apple and Google has a duopoly in mobile gaming, and this is the reason the deal is going. Google going to EU is a detriment for Sony.
So I
There's
mean,
so many angles that everybody's throwing at this motherfucker. Like, Jesus Christ, this thing's gonna go on for so long. We're gonna
I
be
don't
here in
want it.
April and be like, well, Jim Ryan,
it's getting
kicked the guy in the
overcomplicated,
nuts
I think.
today.
You know, because like everyone and their grandma's like, yeah, fucking buy this and invest your stocks. Like it's just play games and let these motherfuckers are a multi-trillion-dollar company. Like they can count a lot higher than we can, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to take care of it no matter what we say or speculate or fearmonger. So
I can count to 13.
I just
so
find
fuck
myself
you.
in this fucking area every time something like this happens, where I'm like, well, I have no reason to freak the fuck out. I think I'll just wait and see what happens, and maybe offer my thoughts here and there. But I don't know. There's just a lot of fear mongering about this type of shit.
It's going to get worse.
I
The
just want
FTC
Blizzard
haven't
to
even
get
got-
better.
This is the CMA. Well, when it goes to the US, that's when it gets real tasty.
Well, what are you going to do about that? Yes.
I mean, the deadline's in March, so
I
deadline's
personally
March.
can't
They have to make a decision by March next year.
I personally
The
can't see this
CMA.
deal not going through. Only thing that I've seen thus far as a stumbling block is Sony, and all of their claims are not valid because they're out there acquiring companies too. And let's just be freaking honest here. If Activision were to offer the sale of their company to Sony, Sony would buy it in a heartbeat. So the hypocrisy is just unreal at this point. The deal's gonna go through. I'm gonna put all of my eggs in this basket, and I'm gonna say that Microsoft's gonna get this deal done. It's gonna be the biggest deal ever. I think it's gonna be bigger than Bethesda in terms of Microsoft's dominance or in the gaming space, because I think it's really gonna propel gaming Game Pass to another level. And Sony can cry all they want, but instead of crying, what they should do is just try to compete with what Microsoft is doing. And, staggering their releases 1 year on the PC after they release on consoles isn't a good start, in my opinion. Just compete. This is competition. I like what Natalia's, I can never say his name.
Natalia.
Sadella said.
Sadella.
When he said,
Nadella. Satya Nadella, bro? What the hell's going on?
I could never say his name right.
Obviously, holy shit.
Anyhow,
Go ahead.
when he said you want to have competition and let's have competition, I think that was the best statement he could make. And I think the regulators and everybody involved overseeing this is gonna see through Sony's claims, and this is gonna go through. And I think it's gonna go through around March. I think Gaz is dead on. I think around
but I
March.
heard it was supposed to go through September or something like this past right now.
Well,
Yeah,
it is what it is, but it's gonna go through, and Sony should be scared. They should be fucking scared because the Activision acquisition is fucking huge.
Yeah, it's massive, and just the fear surrounding it drops stock prices. Hundreds of millions of dollars. It's ridiculous. Stronger Wind, by the way, he says thanks for giving us a place to kind of vent about this BS. No problem, buddy. And Dizpain, aka Jizpain, says Sony's out here buying companies from the dollar store. That's fucked up. But yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff going on around this deal. I don't think freaking out or not freaking out is going to help anything either way. Again, calmly let us know your thoughts. And it's kind of weird that when they make a website kind of restating certain things, people are like, this isn't a good sign. It's like, how the fuck do you know what it is and what it's not? I mean, Microsoft, they're really their own worst enemy when it comes to their messaging. And I just kind of tallied this to that, right? But yeah. Remember Sackboy, October 27th. I know y'all care. You're acting like you don't, but I know you do. And they're also reportedly working on a Horizon Zero Dawn remake of a rescaled of a up-resed PS4 game. And the game's already has 60 FPS patch on PS5. It already looks amazing to me anyway. Why the fuck is this happening, Fonzarelli?
Fonz.
You know what? See, we call them Fonz, and you want Fonz, but Fonz don't want you, And I'm talking to chat. Remember this?
I thought we already had a remaster. I thought it was called.
Remember, Fonz went to the gas station and never came back. So
the funny thing is that they announced that, or it leaks that this fucking remaster comes out after everybody was like, why is The Last of Us, we don't really need it. Was it a really big deal? And then they're like, well, fuck you. How about this Horizon? It's like, wait,
how about
what?
This thing that's 5 or 6 years newer, still looks great, already has a PS5 patch of sorts, and nobody gives a fuck about it.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know what they're gonna do with this. Like, I don't know why they're doing it. I feel like they're just doubling down on charging people more money for PS5 versions of games. And that game was the one, if you remember, the last game, or the Forbidden West was the last game that they were like, well, I guess we got to sell it for $60 and you get the PS5 version anyways. Do you remember that? And
Yeah,
so I now it's this, and I don't know, man. I'm not getting it. That's just stupid. And
Disgusting.
I'm not even getting The Last of Us. I played it. Like, what am I gonna do? Just go through it again?
It's-
Like, I don't know. Like this remaster shit. Like this is what I was talking about. I just want new shit. I don't need remasters. I don't need remakes. Give me new shit. Like, give me something new to play, like a new
But you
IP,
want
something
that
different.
Warcraft
But
remaster.
the game is
No, I
even
want
that
Warcraft
old.
4.
That's the whole thing.
I
The
want a
game
new
isn't even
Warcraft.
that old. Like it's like what 4 years old, 5. How old is
5.
that game? Like
5.
it's not that old. Like we already got a better version of it with Forbidden West. You know, where they could fix all the things that they want to fix. Why do we want to go back and play the first title when it's not even that old? And you're gonna make it look like Forbidden West anyways. So
They already
what
got a
are we
PC
doing
version that runs at 4K, like 110 frames.
like this.
Like, what are you
this is
gonna do?
ridiculous. And Sony is, you know what? I honestly, in this situation, and I hate to blame gamers, but I'm gonna do it. I blame Sony fans because they accept this shit, and you know they pay for these games. Like, what are you doing here? This is ridiculous. I really want to see the sales numbers of The Last of Us Part 2. I want to see how that did compared to other games. I'm really
Announced
curious.
70 million copies sold. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you're right. It is on PC. Obviously, console gamers want to probably play it on console, so it is a different market. But the game just. Here's the thing, though. Where the fuck is Fonz? He's not back. Here's the thing, though. When you have
I'm
something
back
like,
now. Sorry, I'm back.
do you run to the Shake Shack?
No, I had to use the bathroom.
Oh, you had to go number 2.
Continent.
No,
So
no.
Fonz, we're talking
Liar.
about Horizon Zero Dawn, and the fact that this stuff's happening
Yeah.
and nobody's really asking for it. It's already get patched and already looks great. And it's only 5 years old. But on top of that, are they doing this because they don't have much going forward in the next year, maybe?
See, this is the exact question I was asking I forgot who it was. It was on my show, but I was like, what's going on in the next year or so with them? The next couple of years? Like, what do they have coming? I know Spider-Man 2 is coming. We know Wolverine is sometime off. That's coming too. But that's going to be like what, end of 2024, maybe 2025. You know, it's quite a bit of ways. But like, what's coming out next year besides Spider-Man 2
My
for
sex
Sony? What was that?
Nothing.
Probably
don't
Spider-Man
know.
and probably Spider-Man and Factions.
So this is an easy way. It's a cash grab. Let's call it what it is. It's a cash grab. They've already enhanced the game for the PlayStation 5. They put like a 60 FPS patch or whatever into the game. So I mean, what are they going to do here? Now they're touting that whole thing where they're going to try to build this game from the ground up again. So they're going to supposedly anyway. The rumor is they're going to add like a lot of the animations and some of the fighting and things from the second game. They're going to try to add more to it. And I'm thinking to myself, why? But why are they doing this? Of course we know why. It's a cash grab. They just want more money. They're going to charge you $70 for it. I guarantee they're going to charge you $70 for this game all over again. And you know what? There's going to be a lot of stupid people out there that are going to buy it.
I pay
I'm talking about people,
twice.
and I'm talking about people that have already played the game. They're going to buy it. You know, for new players, whatever, I guess, go ahead and play it. But I don't understand why they're doing it with this franchise at all. I mean, they've got so many other franchises that need fixing or need remasters if you're going to remaster anything. I mean, Uncharted would be a fantastic game to remaster. That game is so dated, but a 5-year-old game that holds up really well, that looks better than a lot of games that come out today on the freaking new consoles. Why? It makes zero sense other than it's a cash grab. And anybody who says otherwise is just playing ignorant.
Like, I get if you didn't own it, there's a
Wait,
market,
no,
but
no.
we know why they're doing this, I guess. And again, you know, we used Halo as an example for Last of Us, but they remastered it again, then raised the price $10 and then removed the multiplayer. That's a problem.
You know what? And this is also infuriating a lot of PlayStation guys. I've got DMs from PlayStation guys going, "Hey man, I'm not with this. Why are they doing this? Why are they remastering this game?" And I'm talking about PlayStation guys. They aren't, a lot of them aren't interested in them remastering this game because it's only 5 years old. It makes no sense. So I don't know. It's weird. Sony's doing a lot of weird shit lately. Look, I like some of the things that Jim Ryan has brought to the company and that they're doing. I like that they're spreading their games out to PC and stuff, and I like the fact that they're, doing that kind of thing. But I don't like things like this. I don't like them becoming the remaster Station 5. Okay, I think it's dumb. I think it's stupid. It is what it is, though. They're going to continue to do this with their IP, and it's just like, why don't you do something that people have asked for? I mean, a lot of people ask for Bloodborne and stuff, but I understand it's not their IP. But still, they can do this. They published it and everything. I mean, I just think it's weird, man. This is weird. It's a 5-year-old game. It's not that old.
It is.
You don't remaster a game.
It
like
is
that.
an odd title to kind of bring back. They've got others that are more deserving and that actually don't look good to this day. Don't have a 60 FPS patch or PS5 support. Yeah, chat. Let us know what you think about Horizon Zero Dawn and what price do you think they're going to sell this thing at? Are they going to sell it at 70? Or
100%.
Or maybe they got baptized and they're going to sell it for 10. What do you think? I think it's 70. Or who knows, man? They sold some older games for $450 on PC, but maybe they're going to do it, full price. If they did, that's
they sold an older game for $70. Look what they did with The Last of Us. Come on.
Yeah, they did, but then they sold Days Gone and God of War for much cheaper than that. So.
Days
but they
Gone
sold
just
that on
got a
PC.
barely. You're talking about on PC. That's PC, but that's PC.
If this was priced like $29.99, $39.99, I would say it would be acceptable at that point. But to charge full price, which we know they're going to do, I don't know, man. You Sony fans, you need to stand up, ask for new games, ask if you're going to get remastered games or updates to your games, that you get them for a really good price, because full price just ain't saying it. And this to me shows that Sony really doesn't have anything, because if they had something that was great coming out, why would they be doing these remastered and these re-release games? It just doesn't make sense.
I think one thing I would say is don't underestimate PlayStation's capacity to surprise you, because they do often stay mum and stay quiet, and then they can surprise.
True.
And let's be real, like as far as exclusives go, Xbox is just fucking embarrassing to me right now. So like it's on the burden of proof is on Xbox, but next year is stacked. And if those games hit the quality mark, and I do suspect PlayStation might be running thin on games next year, then it swings and roundabouts. But as for the utility of this thing, I don't know why you would defend this.
I gotta give a shout out to Blaze 4Ks as we pay for great games. But I just the logic doesn't work.
You pay twice.
It really doesn't work. I mean, Days Gone, for example, 71 meta, right? I liked it. I thought it was around a 78. But the logic, it kills itself. Destruction All-Star, $70 game. Right? Is it great? No.
They changed that.
They made it was so bad they fucking changed it. But there's 10 other examples we could take the time to go over. It just doesn't make any sense. The best games to come out last year.
Returnal.
So he said they pay for great games.
But hey, I don't.
They pay for great games. What, twice, 3 times? Yeah, you pay for great games over and over and over. Why? What's the point? If you've already freaking played the game, what would be the freaking point? I don't understand paying for it again. I don't understand, especially in this case. In this case, it's a 5-year-old game.
They're trying to market. Everything's got a fucking TV show. Horizon's got a TV show.
That's what I hear.
Has a movie. For fuck's sake.
Who wants to watch a Horizon TV show? That freaking story is boring as all shit, man.
Fuck y'all, I'm watching
that story is not. Look, I know a lot of people out there, even love that story. I don't know why, but I'm just saying, most of the gamers that I talk to and everything, and I'm not just talking to Xbox guys, it wasn't the story that compelled them with Horizon Zero Dawn. A lot of people like just the robot dinosaur fighting and stuff like I did in the first game. I just didn't want any more of it with the second game. It was just like more of the same over and over. Yet they just added even more of that boring ass story and useless dialogue, meaningless dialogue. And
I
now
agree.
they're going to make a show based on that. That's just that's awful. That's just awful.
You know, Tony B23 says something that should be inscribed on some kind of tablet and hidden in a cave for 3,000 years. He says, "What happened to not wanting to play old games?"
Oh yeah.
I mean,
we don't
again,
buy new
there's a
next
thousand
gen
things here.
consoles to play old games. Here comes
would play
freaking The
this?
Last of
That's
Us
the quote.
remake and this. Come on, bruh.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Who
a
would play
bad
this?
look,
Who would
bruh.
play this? That's what Jim said.
Shout out to Mr. Bushido, Bedtime. We got Jedi Knight Peter. We got Riskit. I see your comment. Riskit says they only have one first-party game in 2023. Again, I'm sure they'll have something else announced, but as of right now, maybe that's what's confirmed. Let us know, chat. And, of
Hit
course,
the like button.
hit
There's
the-
like 1,100 of you. Hit the like
wow,
button.
yeah, I'm surprised. It's really dead. I'm just now looking. Yeah, shout out to 1,100 of you checking us out, guys. Hit the like button, tell everybody that we're live, and thanks for supporting the show. Zach, you want to catch us up on these chats and we can kind of finally change fucking topics? Holy shit.
Yeah, Jesus.
Real deal Sony podcast. What the fuck?
Yep, facts.
We got Jesus. Where the fuck did we stop? I forgot. Okay, here we go. We got Nano Polymath. Requiem is releasing soon, and Alicia is going to punish every rat that represents a lie for air flying, cheap seat, second class dying. Save me, CMA Ryan.
Jeez.
Jesus Christ, Nano.
I just call the rats Sony fans.
That's sad. We got Chris R. He says, "Do you know if Samsung GamePass streaming looks better than a Series S, considering some holiday purchases?" No idea.
What was
idea.
the question?
Do you know if Samsung GamePass streaming looks better than a Series S?
No. It doesn't look better than a Series S. It never will.
No. Dealer said, never will. Never.
Well,
Ever.
teraflops.
Nano Polymath. Jimbo cannot compete. He's not a gamer. He's a lying, hoe-ass fraud Karen. Kerman for
What?
replacement to make Sony great again. Frauds put love. The fuck?
Okay, that's a bit too much.
This motherfucker's
I mean,
battling.
Nano's
I
just going
just
hard
called
in
him
the
a
paint
bitch,
right now.
but that's really bad.
Yeah, he called him a hoe thought. We got Xbox Obi, member for 39 months. Don't let the Activision deal distract you from the fact that Xbox has no games. Savage.
I
a
love
fact.
that. Whoever super chat.
Fact. Hidari Mac, any chance of Infinite getting a free port to U5? No.
Oh shit!
not a
Let's
free
talk
port.
about that.
We got Riskit. He says if it fails, ABK will be broken up and sold off in pieces. If TC don't buy it up, Bobby K will shop it out to save his hairy ass. Bad if it fails.
How do you know it's hairy?
Oh fuck! We got
Sorry,
King
Thomas,
Destruction.
your comments were just annoying, buddy, so I went ahead and just Thanosed you. I'm sorry.
Good. We got King Destruction. Huge shout out to the panel. Can we just get the heads of Xbox and Sony to just battle it out like the Anchorman fight scene, winner takes all?
Talking about the
I
one
got
where
my
they
money.
all pull out maces and shit.
Yeah, the one where they like just come out of nowhere, all the news anchors and just grenades and shit. We got OG Xbox new member. Thanks, man. We got Last of Dying Breed. Off toxic. What do you think about King Games running on Google servers? Massive money last with purchase. I think what he's saying is that King Games are going to run on the Azure instead of Google, so Google loses a massive amount of money if the deal goes through.
I fall asleep anytime you talk about the mobile stuff. Is that what we're talking about?
Yep, that's what we're talking about. You sound like you're falling asleep all day.
I know,
We got the
right?
Xbox Junkie 75. Sony needs to ask for new games. Xbox had no exclusive AAA this year. Sony
Yeah.
is remastering titles, but they are releasing AAA and
Yes, they
partnered
are.
for exclusive AAA too.
That's
That's
a fair
true.
point. That's a fair point.
I mean,
That's
I've
true.
said that multiple times. I didn't want to say it today. I've said it all the time. That
Yeah,
even with
no.
all this shit, they're bringing out fucking games anyways.
If God of War comes
It
out,
is true. but-
you'll forget about all of this shit.
God of War is coming out.
yeah.
when
Not
God of
if.
War comes out next month,
It comes out next month, and it's gonna fucking blow people's minds. You can just tell.
You're assuming
blow
people
your
have
mind.
minds. Yeah, I got to worry.
We're not gonna have one after
I'm
that.
predicting a 91-90 meta. What about you, Zach?
Yeah,
God
that
of War,
sounds about
Ragnarok,
right.
go.
oh, you said 92 man. I said the same. What
I
the
said
shit?
91.
He said 90 when he said
Oh,
91, 90 meta.
Yeah,
I said
geez.
92.
I'd go between 91, 93.
Copied me. Fonz?
92.
I'm gonna go with 90.
Bastards. D.
He's dead.
All right, D-Batch, you're the most talented. And then, of course.
I'm here. My bad.
What
I'm
do you, Ragnarok meta, real quick.
I'm gonna say 92.
All right. Well, Boba Fett says 89, and some of these other guys in the chat say things that aren't related to that. But hey,
Remember this moment.
Did you? Is that the last chat? Can we change the topic? We got better topics.
Yep, that was the last shot.
Yeah.
Okay. So Sackboy, October 27th. Don't forget.
I fucking hate you.
Also, the PS5's been jailbroken already. Just want to run through this real quick. Yeah, it's overrated. Who gives a fuck? Also, we got Microsoft, making their little website, and we already
talked about that. You don't need to bring it up.
Yep. And then we've got. I did want to bring this up because Resident Evil 4 Remake is one of the biggest games of next year. Did you know that, Zalker?
Yes, I did.
And,
Resident Evil 4 is fucking awesome.
Guess what? It's apparently was listed for Xbox One. Now it's not. That's the topic there. And then we've got Grounded. Now Grounded is actually out, and the kids still go meh when they're attacking stuff. And I don't know. Let us know if you guys have played it. Is it much different than the pre-release? I hear pretty good things about it. Just can't escape from 2K right now. PlayStation parody. I think this was from Hargeet. I think this is what he said in the party. Is this from Hargeet, Zalker?
Yeah, this is the one that he murdered Asa with.
Oh,
It
shit.
was great. It was beautiful.
Disagree
So-
on this.
He did.
All right.
I
So
didn't see it.
So Hargeet, he's the smart guy, and he has in-wall speakers. So pay attention. He says leaked documents show PlayStation started implementing stricter basically you got a parity clause in these contracts. And what he pointed out was that a lot of these resolutions in some of these games are looking pretty similar. I don't know how. This is like a last week's topic, right? Still in here, but I don't know. Did any of you had any thoughts on something like this? Because we have noticed that a lot of games are just locking it's like to the same resolution no matter what, stuff like that.
I think that's more to do down with developers and doing it. There's a point of parity where the path of least resistance, where you don't want to perhaps fall foul of the market leader. That is the kind of thing that would dictate whether or not a developer takes the incentive of and time, devotes time and resources to making sure they make the most out of the hardware. But other than that, I don't think the strict interpretation of that parity clause per se suggests that that's the operative reason why the PlayStation games are. I just don't agree with that. I think fundamentally, I just don't agree with
let's
that.
go back in history. There was parity back in 2015-16 when Xbox One was very underpowered comparatively, and there was a lot of people making fun of that.
It was being destroyed in every technical comparison.
But what Hargy was talking about was, why is Deathloop the same exact performance on the Series X as it is the PlayStation 5 when Xbox, it's their first party, right? Like, why can't they just make it run better? Because there's more power, right?
But
Here's an easier way to think
games.
about it, though, right, guys? Like, think about the first marketed game by Xbox or PlayStation that actually performed and looked better on the other system. It's pretty rare.
Name one.
The one I can think of is Battlefield 4.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Red Dead Redemption 2, right? Because the Xbox One X. They're pretty sparse, but for the most part, that doesn't happen a ton. I don't know. But I just figured I would bring it up. I don't really have too many thoughts on it right now, but I do have a lot of thoughts on this Halo Infinite list topic. Yes, I changed the name to from Halo Infinite.
So Hargy just put a
list.
chat in. Hargy said, so the nail in this coffin for parity is that COD, before the new marketing deal, higher res on Xbox One X, after COD has the same res on Xbox as PlayStation.
I know you want to jump topics there. I was going to say something. I got to say real quick. This is bullshit, straight up, man. Like, this is Sony being Sony. Like, their business practices are so disgusting. Like, good hardware, good games, good exclusives. I'm not going to take anything away from their ecosystem and the stuff that they do over there, but them as a company, they're really scummy. Listen, if a system is more capable than another system, you should use all the capabilities of that system. Now, if you're going to alter the whole game design of the game, I can understand for there to be some type of parity there. But as far as it comes with features and graphical presets, there should be no parity. That's so disgusting. And I can't believe gamers aren't really talking about that more, because always heard, in the past, oh, Microsoft is holding back Sony with their Xbox and yada, yada, yada. Well, apparently it looks like Sony's holding back the Xbox because they want developers to make sure that the graphics and everything is on parity with the PlayStation version, which is absolute nonsense. If Sony can tweak a feature that works better on their game, they're gonna do that. So I don't see it being a two-way street. If they can use their SSD to have faster loading, they're gonna use that. But at the same time, they're saying that if there's a feature on the Xbox that you can use that would make the game run better or give better graphic fidelity, you can't use it. And they had this written in the contract.
There's nothing proving that. It's conjecture at the point. But look, man, Red Dead Redemption 2 is the biggest game where that matters. Technical parity. That's one of the most that carries out even now, and it shits on half the games. Why is that game that Sony marketed look better, ran better on the Xbox?
Well, why, Gaz? I want to ask you a question. Why do we keep hearing this? Because apparently this was in some type of leaked documents, and this keeps coming up all the time. Where there's smoke, there's fire.
I just don't think why you think this is bullshit, bro. Like,
I know. I'm
just saying. Like, we have literally seen them publicly get called out for preventing games from going on Game Pass after they saw what it did to them in MLB. Like, we have seen this, like, this parity thing is not out of question.
The legalese of the wording is not suggestive. Everything else is.
But haven't we heard this? Haven't we heard this parity thing coming from both sides though? Like,
exactly.
They all do it.
Xbox did it. Xbox did it 6-7 years ago when they were getting the resolution gate shoved up their ass. So they were like, "Well, we need parity." Like, and that was a big thing.
That didn't happen often at all.
I don't.
But it still was a news thing.
I think it falls more on developers than anything, but
yes,
it doesn't really make a ton of sense.
The technical parity clause everyone's citing even says in brackets, subject to material technical differences of the machines.
Yeah.
You guys are interpreting that wrong. I'm not saying Sony will pressurize companies to try and attain technical parity, but as far as that strict wording of that clause is concerned, it's not what you think it is.
And plus, when we've seen this from
in many ways,
and when we've seen this
differences between the Xbox and by virtue of that clause, Xbox can go ahead, or the developer can leverage the power of the Series X. That same contract
after release.
Because if you go 6-7 years ago, listen,
the Xbox contract.
6-7 years ago, when Xbox was doing this too, we still had 900p games on Xbox, and we had freaking 1080p on PlayStation 4. The fact remains that we still get higher resolutions on the Series X than we do on the PS5, and better frame rates at times. So I agree with Gaz in this situation.
I'm not saying they're not doing it, by the way. I'm saying your rationale by basing it on that contract is not sound. Sony will add pressure. Developers under pressure not to fall foul of Sony that has a market share and leverage the power of the console that has a massive market share. That's the thing that will make developers think, all right, we don't want to piss off Sony. And Sony have, you never know. We will show you shit in the backdrop, giving you okay, that's too much.
I think when it comes down to it, it's more of adding more to the game than just say resolution, frame rates, and stuff like that. Like maybe adding, something extreme, mechanics.
What about
something different?
Can I ask you a question? Do strike levels count?
Strike levels?
Strike no. That's
Bungie.
You see, that should count if there was a parity clause, right? But no,
you're talking content parity now.
Yeah, content. That's content.
Yes.
But I'm talking more mechanics, like, maybe it's alluding to more extreme things like mechanics and, extra animations or something, something that's a lot bigger deal than just say resolution. So,
well, either way, let us know your thought, chat. I personally don't think it's worth arguing about. I think this is one of those things that just happens, and I think that developers probably do want their games to look best on certain hardware. I also know resources, time, especially over the last 2 years, 3 years, with everything that's happened, has been an issue. But yeah, hey, they've released Dying Light 2 1080p, and then 3, 4, 5, 6 months later, it's running almost double that, with more effects on. Just shows you kind of what's possible when they actually fucking try, get a little bit more time. So I want to move forward though. Let us know what you think about that. Zach, we do have a few chats related to that. It's a good time to grab those actually.
Yeah, my Discord's freezing up. I can't look at them. I'll get them in 2 seconds.
Ooh, he's on an original iPad.
Shout out to you, Brad Ward Fight. He's out there on Twitter just quoting us on
Quoting
Twitter.
us. Yeah, shout out to Brad. You quote that, Brad. And then remember, you got to add the whole quote because that's fucked up sometimes. The quotes come off real different, you know?
I got it.
Yeah, exactly.
I got the. So I read the Hargeet one already, and then we got Nano Polymath. He says, if it's so difficult to define in terms for clarity, how do we know devs are silently not misunderstanding it and doing true priority?
Oh my god.
I don't know.
Well, I mean,
it's
hey.
a naive thing to say. I'm sorry, you guys don't understand. Like Jeff sitting there, oh fuck, what did we sign? Can we really leverage the power of the X? It's just
Hey,
bullshit.
we had a developer on the show that didn't know how Game Pass worked and thought, you know, I mean, listen, like there are guys, every developer's different, but we've talked to developers that we're surprised, frankly. And honestly, when you hear guys at Dying Light 2, Techland say the Series S can't do 60 FPS, and we're like, literally that day, we're like, yes, it fucking can do this, blah, blah, blah. Everyone's saying, no, you're wrong, blah, blah, blah. Okay, a week later, it's patched to 60 FPS. There's developers say and do all kinds of weird shit, man. I don't know. I don't blanket statement with it, but it's definitely a factor, maybe. Maybe some of them can't.
I mean, we've heard developers say straight up that they target the Series S a lot more than they do the thing because it's the majority, and that's just what it is. Like, that's like we don't know what it depends on the developer. Like, yeah, it does depend on the developer, but
I
also
mean, that's
depends
the beauty
on
of
what
it,
the
though.
platform
It's built
provides.
to be targeted first.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's irrelevant.
Beauty for that one, but not for the people above it.
I like Turtle Soccer.
God, that was
I know,
that
me
was
too.
a great
So-
game you're playing there on the screen.
So no, we got Risk It. He says, cannot find a reason why haven't seen FSR 2.0 on the Xbox other than the contract. I may be wrong, but the tools are there and not being used by Arcane.
Yeah.
FSR is not there because, like I said, they need to gather the data.
No,
That's
here,
literally the
listen,
longest process.
the tools are a lot of the tools require the game to be next gen only. That I've talked about this multiple times. I talked to developers. They're in the GDK, but if they make the game using that type of velocity architecture feature or something like that, it has to be a next gen only game. And a lot of guys are releasing cross gen stuff like that. So you got to rethink your game design to really fully leverage this stuff anyway. Takes time. Unfortunately, pandemic hit, added a few years, really, honestly. But,
Can we just stop?
Tools.
Can we just stop supporting the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One?
Now, Keith
please.
says the
Please.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's time. It's time to.
I mean, because I'm tired of saying next gen. I just want to say current gen. Damn it, just fucking now. That's what I want to say. All right. So when we say Xbox and PlayStation, we're
Once
talking
they
about
do,
the current
$70
generation.
all
I'm saying
day,
next
baby.
gen. Take that.
Well, we already know that. That's why I've just shut the fuck up about $70. People, people are fucking dumb. Okay, that's all I'll say about that.
God.
We got more. We got Nano. He says we all seen that in The Last of Us 2, Jimbo's going to give them parity and tell them how to take it. Jeez, that's disgusting. Hargeet at Gaz and Xbox themselves interpreted it that way. Do you have a reason to do that? Deathloop
No,
has
it
the
doesn't.
exact same res on Xbox as PlayStation.
No, when he says Xbox have interpreted that way, and I asked him in chat, where's the evidence of that statement? There is no statement. The outcome is the evidence. And when this is the same Xbox can't get its fucking DVR right, and we're sitting there crying about the tools after 2 years. This is an Xbox
You're
problem.
preaching to the choir here, Gaz, especially about that damn DVR.
Yeah.
Maybe one day they'll
But
remember how to
it
work on
does-
it.
Yeah.
It does make sense how you broke it down, though, Dealer. For them to be able to use these next generation features, it would have to be a next generation game, and I'm hoping 2023. That's it. No more. That's it. No more of those games. If you want to support the odd game, whatever, but the majority of your games should be next generation alone. Like, we need to see the full potential of these consoles, and especially with Unreal Engine 5.
I mean, I don't know if it's just next gen. Steam Deck uses
DBF was
FSR
not
already.
done, sir. That
I'm
was
just saying,
rude.
like he said, if it has to be just next gen, then how is the Steam Deck using it?
Zonka is
None
a
of that shit's
toddler.
relevant. I already fucking explained this shit. It's like PC going forward. Fuck. Next gen, current cross gen, none of it matters. Red Dead looks better than fucking almost anything out. Next gen only. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, let's just go ahead and stop repeating the same shit. And talk
FSR is
about
a
Mr.
Alright.
Jez Corden from the Jezcast 2 and Halo Infinite, right? There's been a lot of stuff going around about the Battle
Halo.
Royale soccer, right? The fact
Yeah,
that it could be
apparently,
using Unreal
yeah.
Engine 5, there's kind of a technology break there. I don't know how they're going to send assets in and carry things over if they're going to do that. But yeah, Jez was saying that he had looked and listened. It could be true, but he also recently said, okay, can 100% confirm that Tatanka, which is the Battle Royale, was definitely in development using slip space as recently as 3 months ago. So if it was an engine swap for the BR, then it's truly some kind of big shift. What do you take from that?
That would be
Zucker?
a major shift. Yeah.
I take what this whole thing with Sean, and I think that's the person that talked about this. There's a big leak. Jez wrote an article about it after that, and a lot of people are hearing a lot of different things, that there's major changes, including what they're going to build this thing on. Jez said 3 months ago, I guess he heard that they were moving. They had slip space engine, and then maybe if they're moving to Unreal Engine, that's a major shift. This whole Halo thing is actually fucking insane. Like, they're changing the 10-year plan that guy that's not there anymore had. They got
Thank
rid
God.
of it at late December or early January this year. That they're going to build a whole new Halo game that they might be transferring from the slip space over to Unreal Engine 5. There's a lot.
Why
lot of
5 though,
changes.
Zocker? Why would they do that when they have great tech there with id Tech? Like, why would they use
made
that?
an open world game.
That's
the only thing I could-
it doesn't need, it doesn't necessarily
And
need to be open
developers.
world. I mean,
And development hires.
yeah.
I will choose Unreal Engine
Contract.
5 every day of the week over ID Tech. Like,
Why?
not-
why?
not
why?
even- not-
Why would you say that? Because
just
it's a
for
proven
all-
engine for
just-
FPS. Like,
no, just because it's much easier for the developer to create in that space, as well of all the new toys that you have to play in there. The realism that Unreal Engine 5 gives you is unmatched right now. Nothing is even coming close. So I would definitely choose. That's going to be the de facto game engine going forward for sure. And have you like today I was watching some guy created Super Mario Brothers using Unreal Engine 5, and holy smokes.
but it may look great. But I was reading on Twitter that there's some like technological issues with Unreal.
The
Still,
only issue that I know that Unreal Engine has right now is with the foliage, and I think they're
foliage, damn coffee.
I think
Hey, I
think it is-
D-Batch, I just want to catch something real quick, and I want to come back. Risk it, yeah. When I'm saying that they're not using features because of next-gen games, I'm specifically referencing the developers that aren't using them. Things like BC Pack, because they do have a last-generation version, or it's on PC. They're aiming for the minimum spec on PC, which is what something, people forget. Like, it's a lower common denominator. I don't know many games that require 16 threads of Zen 2 and an SSD to run on PC, if any. That's the limitation. Everyone's acting like a Series S. Secondly, FSR, yes, can scale, and it's built to run on everything from a high-end PC to mobile. But again, are the developers that launched a game at 1080p, poorly optimized, buggy, co-op Deathloop bug, Dying Light, right? Lost 40 hours. Is that game really going to be optimized and well launched, and let alone be really taking advantage of FSR 2.0? They did 1.0, not 2, but point is, developers, resources, time, and obviously the clean break. And you got to add into that when you try to force new technology, it's not needed. That's why Gran Turismo 4 or Gran Turismo 7 is on a PS4, right? Or whatever. You don't necessarily need an SSD to do this shit. It's been done forever. That's what RAM's for. So, I don't know. They kind of have to force these features if they're going to just clean break everything. Like, I think developers are putting shit where it can run. If it can't run, or they don't have the time or resources to mess with it right now, they're just saying, fuck it,
Well, what we do
Risk it
know
was-
is that the slip space engine has been causing a lot of issues, and
It's got
all the
crash.
contracting out.
it's
all the
okay. It's
contracting
kind of,
out and those issues as well with getting those contractors to come in for a year or whatever, 18 months, whatever it is, and then they go. It's like, yeah, I get it, and I get what Dia is saying with Unreal Engine 5. It's going to be more universal than say id Tech, but I'm just saying they could make a high quality Halo game with id Tech, and it would feel so fucking good because
The
it's
engine,
already been proven to
id Tech's great,
be
but
so good.
I think you got to start
It
with
doesn't
how the
compare.
fuck to make a game
Doesn't
again with those guys. I don't know.
doesn't you
Oh, man.
Fonz, you really
Shots
need to
fired.
go and look at some of the stuff that's being created on Unreal Engine 5.
No, I
It's-
have,
it's-
D. There's some
it's-
incredible
there's-
looking things, but again, I'm just
There's no-
staring at it.
Someone
through-
even created Halo in it.
I know, but I'm looking at it through a monitor. I'm not feeling the experience. There's a big difference there between watching something and actually feeling it.
I think it's
So.
gonna play the same. I think it's gonna look a lot better. I think this is the experience that us gamers want. We want to look at our Xbox Series X and see the full capabilities of it and be wowed by it. And right now with these cross-generation games, we're getting some good games, but we're not really getting wowed.
There's a good question for you. Xhawk says, is the net code good in UE5?
It's better than whatever the shit Halo one is, and
yeah, it can't be any worse. Flip space is pretty bad. Yeah.
I want to say, Riskit said in the chat, he said they can use some of these features like VRS. And just to add on what Dealer said, yeah, VRS they can use, and it wouldn't really change the game. And I think these developers should be using VRS. It's not a detriment to their cross-play development, but like the velocity architecture, the mesh shaders, the VRS with the hardware acceleration, all that stuff, they can't implement it. It has to be only next gen.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Older systems don't support it.
By the way,
right?
VRS has been in use even last generation. The Metro developer on Metro Last Light had a version of VRS running on PS4 and Xbox One. Microsoft's they bragged about it because it's accelerated the way it is, and they think it's extremely efficient, and it's going to only get better over time, as they've already proven. But again, we're talking a lot about all this other crap. I got Zalker, I hate to do it again, but this is the perfect time to catch up, and then we can transition over here into something.
Yep.
A dumpster.
We got Infinite Umbra. He says now Kith.
Now Keith.
So he wants us to Kith.
Now
We got
Keith.
Nano Polymath. Not all devs sign the contracts. That's down to the manager of the studios. Freeze of life and time manager isn't going to relay contract terms across the board. Okay. We got Fire Z71. He's a member for 8 months. Just jumped in, but can't wait to listen tomorrow through the workday with Dealer and the Sauce Man and the rest of the Fire panel. Thanks,
Thank
man.
you very much.
Okay.
We got Hectic World. Well, the market leader Sony does not use Unreal Engine, so Xbox should use Decima Engine. Jesus.
They do use Unreal
the
Engine.
market leader. Wow.
I mean,
No.
Days Gone released on Unreal Engine. Not, I mean, but yeah.
Well,
you know.
look at Fortnite. That's the market leader right there. It uses UE5. So
Yeah,
don't think
it looks pretty
Yeah.
good.
Did
By the-
it switch? Did it switch yet?
Yeah.
it's been on Unreal
switched
Engine
over.
5.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big shout out
Netcode
to,
is good apparently.
Big shout out to the moderators, by the way. The chat's awesome. Always great. Anytime someone jumps in here that's saying some dumb shit, the chat just destroys them, which is funny. But the mods really crack down, and it's not that it's really a problem anymore. But I just want to say thanks, and everyone watching live. Shut up, Hans. Everyone watching live, hit the like button, and of course, let us know your thoughts as we do continue into some of the final topics. Should be
Can
fun.
I just read this one? Can I
Go
read
ahead.
this one super chat here? It's by All Might. He donated $1.99. Thanks, buddy. He said, "Rip to the Metro dev from 4A Studios, Andrew."
Oh, yes.
I don't know if you guys heard about that, but unfortunately, the situation that's going on over there, he was, I guess he was, unfortunately, met his demise in one of the attacks there. So
that's
our
terrible.
hearts go out to the family and all of his friends and all the developers over there.
Is that
Yeah,
Metro
he was-
developer?
Yeah, he was.
He did
4A
the animations.
developer.
He was.
He
He
was-
was.
yeah, he
involved
was
in
the animator.
animations.
Terrible.
Freaking yeah, that's bad.
That's bad.
All right.
Sorry for that bad note there. Sorry. Move on.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it's.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it fucking sucks. It's basically
Yeah, man.
Has a bit of
it's
perspective.
hard to
on
really
things.
backflip out of this one. But yeah, it sucks, and I wish it just reminds me of other people in the community too that we're not hearing from and stuff like that.
I like 4A games a lot, man.
Yeah.
Like the Metro is a great. Exodus was a great game, man. Loved it.
Yeah, but the aiming needed it to be improved. So
Yeah. It has had its issues. It needs to switch to Unreal Engine 5 for sure.
what the fuck? Why so serious? He said Scorn is going to be real next gen. Yeah. Well, Dick.
I don't know about that.
I know. Yeah, we're
The
not hearing great things right
demonic
now.
penis game.
We're not, yeah. That ain't the best of. I wasn't looking forward to Scorn. I literally did not care.
Why not?
I have
A lot
a
of
feeling
people
that's
like
going to be.
that shit.
I want it to be good, but I think it's going to be shit.
Well, I mean,
that's my
hopefully it will.
journalist. That's my smart take on it. I want it to be good, but I think it's going to be shit. But hopefully it's good. But I don't
VHS
know.
is the real deal.
It's all
did I
about
say VHS? Did
Betamax.
somebody say VHS?
Yeah, somebody said VHS. I
well,
said Betamax.
whoever that was, fuck 'em. And of course, it might have been me.
He said,
But yeah,
it's in the chat, bro.
no, I think one of us. Who knows? I might actually say it. I don't know.
I saw somebody in the
I just
chat.
think it was a
Jesus
joke.
Christ,
Whoever
Taylor.
it was, fuck 'em. But yeah, again, we got to go forward. There's some new games coming to Xbox Game Pass, that one service that gives you a bunch of shit. Normally, this one's pretty good, man. You get Chivalry 2. Chivalry is not dead.
I have
bitch.
not tried that yet, so I can actually play it now. Yeah, because you guys were like having a blast with that, and I couldn't join in because I didn't want to spend the money because I'm a cheap bastard. But
let's get danked, bro.
I'm gonna give you a little
Let's
tip.
do
right?
it. Let's get danked and do it.
I'm gonna give you a little tip.
ready.
It's not the type you're used to. Chivalry. You gotta stay near your damn teammates because if you get outnumbered, it's a bunch of fuck faces flailing 20-pound like pieces of metal. Okay, and you're gonna get chopped down quick. It's all about numbers. You gotta be.
Gaz, hold me, Gaz, in the game.
I will hold you.
So it is such a fun fucking game,
is.
though.
Legs, arms, everything flying off.
I put way too many hours in that goddamn thing.
Did you
Might
put
jump
too many
back
hours
into
in
it.
Costume Quest? Because that's also coming.
About the same
Costume
amount
Quest,
as Sea of Thieves, so about 900.
All right, and then we got Plague's Tale Requiem. That's coming as well, and of course,
Requiem.
we've got Scorn, which is
horror porn.
all kinds of umbilical cord sucking action going on in that game. If you're thirsty. And dude, they literally show it in it's a thing in the game. So HP Lovecraft, if you're into that kind of stuff and
Isn't it?
I don't know, you know what I'm getting at.
A
Some
lot
weird
of
shit.
people-
You like weird
Yeah.
shit? Fuck.
You
dude,
know what?
please
A lot
do
of,
it.
exactly. And speaking of weird shit, a lot of people are playing this Disney Dreamlight Valley or whatever it is on Game Pass, and I'm hearing like it's really like kind of like that Nintendo game. What was that Nintendo game with all the village? Anyway, it's huge. Like
Animal Crossing.
the Animal Crossing. They're saying it's a lot like that, and a lot of people are loving it. So I guess you can play that.
Also Persona 5 as well. Somebody said it in the chat. Yeah, that's coming out finally. Is that a big
Dina's
deal?
favorite
You
game.
guys, is that a big thing to you guys?
I
Fight
can't
against
wait.
penis
I
demons.
can't wait.
I
I can't wait for it.
Shut up!
Looking-
You're not gonna play Persona.
I'm looking
5.
forward to it. I can't wait
You're
to
not
play
gonna
it.
No, you're not
Bro.
playing that game.
Bro.
Fucking shit.
The first
I
hour,
would
you're
play
gonna be
about
like,
it.
Persona
what?
5 on PlayStation. But
Did you really
I'll
play
play-
Persona
I don't-
5? It makes you worse, bitch.
I tried it. I had to quit it. Too many penis
I
demons.
cannot imagine you playing Persona. What?
Well, I mean, we talked to you in a party and you were literally in a hot tub in Final Fantasy with like these bald guys or whatever. So I don't
Hey,
know.
with other
You got
grown
called
men,
out.
we were just having a good
We were
time
just
talking,
scraping
you
the
know.
dead skin off each other's feet.
It was all
Yeah,
consensual,
All right.
You have to do the hot tub scene in the game. You have to.
Well, you did it twice. You signed up twice.
Okay.
He saved
Yeah,
it.
I
He saved
started
right
over.
before it, reloaded
Yep.
the save.
Reload checkpoint. That's what I kept doing.
But yeah,
The weather's warmer this time. Who peed?
there's Capono dealing with positiveness. Listen, I'm just giving you my thoughts, man. Okay. But yeah, Fonz loves the hot tub scene in Final Fantasy VII. So yeah, fuck my topic spot. Oh, we got Chivalry 2 again, Costume Quest, Scorns, Persona 5, Plague's Tale Requiem,
Yeah.
Overwatch 2 beta is out as well. Anybody tried that? I talked to somebody earlier that was
No.
playing.
He's had a DDoS problem, DDoS, and things are down, so you can't get in.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, they got DDoS.
Listen,
Oh,
somebody send
man.
me a
Smart.
burner phone because I'm not putting my phone number in that damn game just to play it.
So, okay. So
yeah,
I
that-
talked about the
what
phone
do you
number
think of
thing.
that?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I talked about this, and I at first I was like, I don't like this, but it's the only way to really combat cheaters, because if you think about it, like they can mask their IP and all this stuff, but with your phone number, you'd have to go out and get a new fucking phone number to start up another account, and who's really going to be doing
Who's
that?
doing this?
And you can't use burner
Blizzard,
phones
man.
either. You can't use
Overwatch.
burner
I'll
phones
burn
either.
all the phones. I don't give a fuck.
You
Overwatch
can't
is
use a
doing
burner
it?
phone.
Yeah.
And more companies are going to be doing
need
this
it.
to get to stop cheating.
I
Then-
like that.
They're forcing it. That I don't know if I'm.
I'm
I
just
don't
gonna
know if
I'm okay
companies
with
will
it.
wanna
Somebody's
date
gonna
them.
hack. Somebody's just gonna hack them, and they're gonna get
Let's be
extra level
honest.
toxic and shit, and
Yeah.
send like
No,
text
no,
messages and shit.
Let's be honest though, because I mean, you sit there and you can put in whatever email address you want. You can hide behind a VPN or whatever, and this way they can crack down. I mean,
Bro,
you can't
Blizzard-
use a burner phone. You're not going to be able to use some fake numbers. It's not going to work.
I don't
Uh,
trust Blizzard with my details, bro. Do you know how much they got
Bro,
hacked so
Bro,
bad.
you
If you
just
played World
being
of Warcraft,
online, you just being
everyone has been
online,
hacked.
I want to hear
your
what
info
Gaz
is
is a little-
exposed.
why you got so many trust issues, Gaz? Huh?
Bro, I used to play World of Warcraft, and everyone who has played WoW has been hacked. Zorka, you played WoW. Did your account ever get hacked?
My account get hacked?
Not mine.
Like did you play?
Yes, I didn't have two authentication, and then when I did the two-step authentication, I didn't get hacked.
Okay, well, I got hacked, and some guy leveled my character and used it for farming gold, which I was
You should
grateful
thank
for.
him.
But
Because you didn't have any gold, they hacked you, and you were like, "This broke bitch," and they went
Yeah.
and you fucking farmed, you fucking loser.
I hate cheaters, and to be honest, ultimately I'll end up giving my number because I paid for this pack for the Overwatch high whatever thing pack. But it's a bit tricky because I just don't trust giving my numbers to corporations, man. Especially
There-
companies that have breaches of security. You know,
Yeah, but
where do you draw the line,
what's
man?
really going to
Next,
happen with
they
your
wanna
phone
know-
number? What's really going to happen? They sell it off to another corporation or something, and then you get spam calls that you could just fucking block. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, honestly, if it's going to combat cheating, and this is the only way we can do it, we're going to have to do this. I mean, these cheaters hide behind VPNs and stuff. So using an email address and shit like that isn't working. There's still fucking millions of cheaters out there.
Why is it
still
on the
doing their thing.
company to sort out the hacking? Why can't they have safeguards to do that? They need to be a little bit more robust in their own security in their own game, as opposed to
What company
getting
has
us-
eliminated
Unbelievable.
cheating altogether? What company has eliminated cheating? It hasn't happened.
That show Cheaters?
It hasn't
You ever
happened.
seen it?
I mean, I don't know. You have to weigh up. At one point, someone I do think needs to have a stand, because every time you're gonna go boot up a game, he's gonna be, "We want your
Yes,
name,
boomer,
number,
boomer,
serial number, how tall you are, whether you are susceptible to any diseases." Maybe I'll give you
I
a
was
game.
with you at the beginning when I first heard this. I was like, I don't want to put my number in there. That's fucking crazy. And then when I started to really think about it and talk to it with other gamers, it's like, wow, okay. Yeah, it makes more sense that, this is the only way to really combat cheaters, because you're not going to buy a whole new fucking phone line and shit just to play Overwatch 2. So
Yeah, well.
it's gonna combat cheaters.
Chad,
I
I'm
get the
sorry we're talking about
necessity
a
of it
fucking
all.
phone number and whatever the fuck we're talking about right now.
Okay.
But again, I do want to say that if you're that worried about the phone number thing, don't, I'm not, I don't know.
Don't do it.
I
Yeah.
probably won't play it.
Everybody's just saying PC cheaters. The PS5 just got jailbroke. There's console cheaters.
Bro, there's
You're gonna get
console
this
There's way
cheaters.
more
homies.
PC cheaters. Not
Oh,
even
Oh,
but there's a
100%, but now
ton
that
of
that shit's
console
jailbroke,
cheaters too.
It's over. There's
Look,
console
that
cheaters.
just means
Trust
they
me.
can download like the weird anime app now or something on it. Like it's not
No,
a
it
big
literally
deal.
means they can put software on it, any software they want that otherwise would
Yeah,
not
the
want to
anime
go on
app.
there.
That's the only reason they're jailbreaking the shit. Weird fuck.
Is that cheating? Are you cheating
Yeah.
on your wife with anime?
Oh shit! You got to bring people's wives into it. That's fucked
I've got
up.
iOS on
Some
my
people's wives
PlayStation
did the
5.
anime. You brought it in.
I'm getting a burner phone right now.
You can't use a burner phone with this. You
I will
can't.
fucking
Fuck.
find a way. All right.
You can
can't use a
spoof
burner
phone
phone.
numbers. You can.
Yeah, you
Someone in
can't.
chat
Spoof,
said it, you
no, but
can.
they're not going to allow you to spoof numbers
Which
and
one are y'all
stuff. They're
picking?
not going to allow it. It's not
Hey,
going to.
hey, this
What?
topic is kind of too big, and we do need to move forward. Stadia is fucking dead already. Holy shit! There were actually people that thought this was actually going to work out somehow. What the fuck? So Stadia is going under, and it's done. They're giving refunds, which is great, but they're also they literally just made deals with developers a few weeks ago, just to announce that they're not doing this anymore a week later. And developers are caught off guard, right, Fonz? We talked about this on your show. If you haven't checked out GT on Fonz's channel, check it out. That was a fun conversation. But did we learn anything new since then? Were those developers that for some reason thought that Stadia was a good option, have they gotten any kind of assistance like maybe the consumer has if they were promised deals?
Oh,
Uh,
go ahead.
In terms of refunds?
Or like, hey, we made a deal with this developer, but we didn't even tell them we're fucking ending the whole thing. You found out on
Oh
Twitter.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, loads of devs are pissed off about that because they didn't get
Yep.
any warning at all, really.
Yeah, they
So-
found out when we did, and I was talking to you about that WRSK Games. I don't know why I fucking remember that, but that just popped in my head.
Rough
Anyways,
games.
They were pissed off because I think their game Battle Billiards, or no, it wasn't them with Battle Billiards, but WRSK Games did sign a publishing agreement with them just last fucking week, and then this week they fucking cancel Stadia. They say next year, January 18th, it's gone. So they are pissed. They're like, we just signed a publishing agreement with you. And then there was another group that Petroic Games, I believe, with Battle Billiards. They had a deal with them there, and their game's coming out in November apparently. Now it's like they're like, what the fuck are we gonna do here? Like, what's going on? And another company was like on Twitter saying that they've just been putting a lot of money into their game, building a game that should be coming out soon, and now they don't know how they're gonna recoup their dev costs because they're just out. It's done. It was an exclusive game for Stadia, and they found out when we did. It's crazy.
There has to be some type of compensation there. There has to be for them, because that's just ridiculous. All that work for nothing. Just like Google is, offering refunds to all of the consumers that brought.
There's no
hardware.
compensation for the time lost, bro.
Yeah, man, that's really rough. Now, I was a day one guy for Stadia just because I like to try out new tech, and I'm kind of happy that I'm going to be getting a refund and I get to keep the actual hardware, because the controller is not too bad and whatever. Chromecast, I've used it like the 6 times that I've played Stadia. Now, the problem with Stadia is the pricing. Someone wrote in the chat that they believe that Game Pass killed it. I really do believe that Game Pass killed it. I don't know if you guys were saying that in jest, but I think Game Pass really did kill it. The problem with Stadia was not the technology. The problem was the pricing. Actually, out of all of the cloud services, it performed the best, to be really honest.
Mhm.
But the pricing, it just didn't make sense. Why am I paying full price for these games that I only have access to in the cloud and only, in your ecosystem? I can't play them anywhere else. First of all, the game should have been cheaper.
They solved all
and you
those
should have
problems,
been able
T-Batch.
the game should have been cheaper, and you should have been able to play it somewhere else. Now, I've read something that Ubisoft is also doing something for customers that purchase their games on Stadia, that they're gonna give them a PC key so they can play it on a PC. So that's good, but that should have been there from the start. Even if it was $10 less than on PC, and you got the key for the PC and were able to play it in Stadia, I think they probably would have been around. And it's sad. Now, with that being said, I think some of these companies should swallow their pride and look to license their software, because the software side of things was excellent, and like I said, it was actually industry leading. They had the best latency, the best image quality. It was definitely the best service, but they just couldn't compete with Game Pass, the pricing, and all the games that you get just from being inside of Game Pass, the access of having cloud gaming, playing it locally on your Xbox or playing it on your PC. They just couldn't compete with that.
It's the options they couldn't compete with. You can't play it locally. So why would you pay full price for a game if you can only stream it, right? It didn't make much sense to me. The business model right now, in the future, we're going to be talking more about like streaming services and stuff, when our infrastructure is better and stuff. And I can understand it being a thing then, but right now we just don't have that infrastructure for that sort of thing. And not being able to play local is one of the biggest, things that was going against it. And also the fact that we can't just skim over it. The fact that they have a legacy of killing off products. Google has been notorious for killing off products. So why people put their eggs into this basket, while I do feel bad for some of these developers, at the same time, I'm like, well, it's Google. They have a history of doing this.
I do want to say, though, that yes, the second we found out it was a more Linux-based porting, it's separate development, basically. You got to port the game to Stadia. Not only that, but you can't play it locally, like these gentlemen said. And the prices are often more expensive than anywhere else. You also don't get the option, like you do on other consoles, to play these things how you want to play them. Cross-buy, cross-save, things. Like xCloud kind of feeds back into itself. Game Pass elbow drops that, makes it even more effective. Stadia's over here in the corner doing some weird shit no one asked for, right?
Stadia was Linux based.
It was I think it was like it had a kernel.
If it was
Linux
based, then if it was the Linux based thing, then Steam killed them. Because Steam grabbed the
nothing
Proton.
killed them but them. That's what I'm getting to. Like, they're dumb decisions, and obviously hiring Phil Harrison, the guy that ran the Xbox One of the grounds at launch. The shitty thing is the developers that spent years, for some reason, thinking this was a great idea. We can't lie. They did. But years of time, years of development, And they could have been making games for other places and having really, really cool IP and stuff out there. And they're just not. But Battle Billiards, like I said on Fonz's show, they'd have just lasted a little longer. Battle Billiards could have brought them back. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I really
Well,
believe
they
it.
should have done what Amazon did. Amazon launched the games first and then kind of put out Luna, right? Like they had some flops and then Lost Ark and New World, and they had some games that actually hit. And it's like, yeah, so they did that. Then they're like, oh, and we have a service that you can play these on, right? Like it was the games first and then the service. Like that's kind of like what Amazon did, which I think was the right move because they actually brought out some games that people are playing.
So, I mean, Papa Smurf says it wasn't a bad idea. I mean, again, I think all of it. I think almost every bit of Stadia, not the ideas as in high quality 8K HDR stream. No, the implementations, the policies that restrict what Stadia was doing, they weren't good enough to keep the platform alive, and you got really, really fierce competition as well. But I'm not surprised Google gave up. I am surprised they didn't tell their own developers. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, that's fucked up, man.
It's real fucked up.
Especially, they just signed a contract last week.
But the potential for this was high. You've got Google, didn't even market it, and it has the biggest search engine in the world. It's got YouTube, where everyone is watching this show now. Yet, you could have leveraged that tech, enable players to tap into a YouTube stream. Boom! Now you're playing Metro.
If you go to their website, it's something like what Google has killed or whatever, and it's all their own products. I'm telling you, there is pages and pages and pages of all the products they've killed. Google and Chrome is the only thing they got going for them. Like everything else is just has been bad.
What are you talking about? They're about to fuck YouTube up some more. They're going to lock off 4K streaming.
Oh my god!
Like Google are testing this out right now. We don't know if it's going to actually happen, but the fact they're even testing it pisses me off. I've been uploading in 4K, 60 FPS since 2017. They're testing out locking it behind premium. Just like, you remember when you used to be able to listen to shit with your fucking phone locked, and then they locked it off behind premium? Yeah. The same shit with 4K streaming, and it pisses me off.
And then they also have Android. They also have Android, and they also have Gmail. They have a lot of shit. Like, Google's got some shit. I understand that they've killed things, but they've also hit on some things. The Stadia thing, the technology. Every company's killed
more than they hit, though.
Yeah.
I remember when Stadia first came out, there was a meme when Stadia first came out that it's just going to be canceled, and look, it was right. On the 4K thing, we got an update on that. Apparently, they were trying to test it out via the app or something like that, and they're getting a lot of bad press about it. So it looks like that's getting walked back. But just the fact that they thought about that in the first place is just
scummy.
Is it getting walked back though, or is that an assumption?
Yeah, I heard it's getting. I watched another YouTuber, a pretty big one. I don't want to say his name, whatever, but he said that they're walking it back. So.
He was Crap Gamer, wasn't he? Hey, but yeah, seriously, if they're doing this is it's shitty, and the fact that you're even thinking about it, Google.
Yeah,
fuck
it's
off.
awful. Come on.
You're doing this shit for 5 years, and you're gonna lock this shit off. It's stupid.
Yeah, like come on, man. Like a lot of people enjoy the 4K content, man. Like that's just an awful way to try to force people to get in your YouTube Premium. I'll say the fact that it comes with like YouTube Music and that you can close your phone and use it. Okay, whatever. That and skip.
There's a workaround for that though, and it's really easy to do. I close my phone all the time,
But I'm saying, like, for that reason, whatever, it is what it is at this point. But to then go out and say, yeah, we're gonna lock the 4K content behind this paywall, that's just going too far, man.
Yeah, but no, there's workarounds for that. But yeah, the premium thing, for me, look, I tried the trial for premium and I really liked it. I liked not having all the ads and stuff and whatever. But at the same time, it's $16 a month.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Why is it so expensive?
Yeah,
like I could understand if it was like $5 or $6 or something.
I would be subscribed if it was 5,
16. That's crazy.
Hey, get Premium Plus to avoid buffering.
and Premium Plus for 4K.
Yep,
ridiculous.
I have YouTube Premium. You notice how, because I'm not affected, I didn't say, well, I'm not affected. Fuck everyone but me. Like,
exactly.
It's the principle of the matter. Like it usually is with me, and I'm not perfect. I'm just saying this is fucked up, and
we're the same type.
An atrocity.
Yeah. What YouTube should be really working on to get more people interested in their platform, is bringing 4K 120 hertz playback. We have a lot of 4K 120 hertz monitors, televisions. That could be something to get people talking about YouTube. Concentrate on that, not trying to hide 4K behind a paywall. That's ridiculous.
I don't know. I mean, the frame rate, most gamers are not playing at that frame rate. Have you up? There's so many things there, but I just
that's about to change. This, like, not to go on the PC rant, but that's about to change with the 4090. With the 4090, 4K 120
yeah. So
hertz,
the 0.1% of you that spend $1,600 on a graphics card can enjoy that.
Yeah, but eventually that's going to start to trickle down. So just like the early days of 4K.
Yeah, my grandkids can play it.
I think 5 years is.
But yeah, I mean, consoles obviously support 120, but I'm not even, like I said, I'm staying in the 60 FPS modes because I'm not getting used to 120 and then bitching 3 years, 4 years from now when games are too demanding to run 120. They will get more demanding. So I'm just staying at 60, and it should be a good, smooth coasting generation. But I do want to say thanks for everyone watching us, by the way. Hit the like button if you haven't. Tell a buddy to we're live.
Hit it.
We got to go to the next thing real quick. We are almost out of time here. But yeah, Stadia is dead. No one's surprised. I can't believe some people even thought that it would last, to be honest. It's dead. And then CD Projekt, they confirm another Cyberpunk game. I'm not excited for that.
What?
They confirmed a new Cyberpunk project,
They
right?
put out a whole.
This is the
they
biggest
put out a whole
news of
roadmap.
today.
There's twice
they
as
put
many
out a whole
spikes and
new
dildos
thing.
in this game.
They just talked about it today.
They put out a thing
An
talking
update to
about.
the game or
Hang
a
on, Zalker.
new?
No,
Zalker's
they're
got the
building-
information right here.
They're building a new Cyberpunk game that they have 350 plus developers on. They're also building a new Witcher game. They have a new Witcher game with 150 plus people on it, and they have the update. And then they have a new IP coming out that they announced that has been in development since early this year or late last year.
Butt plug battles.
Ooh,
Bro,
Xbox buys when?
Xbox
I'm
came
excited.
by now.
Look, I'm excited for this new Cyberpunk game. I really loved the first game. I thought it was great. Had a blast with it. I'll definitely be playing this one too. I like the stories and stuff within the game. So, man, maybe they're going to work on their mistakes or just some of the mechanics and some of the things that some people complained about from the first.
I think that, yeah, absolutely.
And that would be great. Yeah.
And remember,
The
they
bro,
switched over
trust
to
me,
UE5,
this
right,
one-
guys?
Huh? Sorry.
I said, and remember, they switched over to UE5. They ditched their own Red engine, right?
Exactly. So that's
So
one less
it's gonna
headache of
play
that
like
stupid engine. So you can't see people in T-shaped poses everywhere.
Yeah.
But
I'm
I
excited.
think I'm excited because I know CD Projekt Red are desperate to reclaim their
Wait, Gaz, did you
pride
play
as
it?
developers and the reputation.
Did you play it? Cyberpunk?
Yeah, and I'm playing it.
Okay.
I almost completed it on PC, and I'm started all over again on Xbox, and thanks to Edge Runners, and I'm enjoying it. But there are massive problems. Let's be honest. The game that was sold or promised to us and what we
the
got
game that was
now,
initially promised is not what we have.
it's not even remotely close. But with this, I'm excited because it. But I will say this. One of the things that everyone complained about with Cyberpunk was that the publishers have such unrealistic times for delivery. Yet here we are, and they have set up the same kind of. They've got 6 years. They're where's this link? They're going to deliver these games in under 6 years with multiple studios. They've already committed themselves to this kind of broad time limit, and I don't. You're making the same mistakes as last time. But I think they need to do that. But I will say this: well done. I appreciate their transparency here. They've given a roadmap. This is what we're going to do. I only wish 343 did something like this. I said, look, this is what we're doing. We've got Certain Affinity building this. We're going to scrap this engine if it's true and use it on Unreal Engine, and we'll build another game called Halo, Endless. That kind of thing. That's like the dream for me with Halo. But they're doing that here. You got Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, which is a story-driven expansion. You've got we'll talk about the Witcher stuff later. You got Polaris and all the shiz and Larises. But you got the Project Orion. That's the one. Cyber 20, the sequel. And it says in the spiel, will prove the full power and potential of the cyberpunk universe, you might think that's just marketing shit. Well, maybe, but I think that means like this is their chance to deliver the cyberpunk experience. It's going to be mad. I think I'm excited because you can tell from the way they are communicating that they feel really salty about what happened with cyberpunk. So let's see. And the edge runners is me really excited.
They should feel it. Yeah, they should feel that because they didn't deliver exactly what was promised, and they held back on a lot of mechanics within the game that people were looking forward to.
Yeah.
So hopefully they do bring back stuff like wall running and stuff. But yeah, just the fact that they're moving to Unreal Engine 5 is a good thing too, because the Red Engine, it was pretty long in the tooth, man. I'm glad
it's quite
they're
got a
moving
lot
away
of
from
parallels with 343 and Halo. Like they're supposedly moving to Unreal 5. These guys are moving to Unreal 5, which is I'll say it again, the most next gen experience I've had on these consoles is booting up the Unreal Engine 5 tech demo, the Matrix one.
You know, fuck
that
all the
was like
cyberpunk
when I
shit.
played that.
You know, we need that Witcher update. It's still by far the gold standard. It crushes cyberpunk in every fucking way. And
The Witcher, a new Witcher game. Is that going to be on Unreal Engine? I assume it will be too.
Yeah, it is confirmed.
I just want to know who the fuck's making these games. I want to know what team's making them, because if they hired all these new people, like I just want to know who's doing it. Where's the team that made Witcher 3 that made it one of the best RPGs ever? Like, who the fuck is there? Who's doing it? Like, you can tell me all these people are there, but who is it? Who's the talent? Like, what's happening? Because after what happened with Cyberpunk, I'm not sitting here fucking like praising you. Sorry, you didn't earn that. Like, I get you did all this
still
stuff.
a really
It's
good game, though. It's still
like, I'm not saying that it's not a really
game.
good game, but when it launched, it wasn't, and there was a lot of broken promises. They took a PR hit.
Were you on the PlayStation 4 or Xbox One when it launched? Because when it launched, I didn't have a problem with it.
Of the game a year later.
You can be on anything.
I was on the Series X in that game, and I had 2 fucking crashes. That was it. Yeah, there was a lot of little glitches here and there where guns were floating in the air and stuff, but you see that in fucking every game
what do you
now.
mean? Like,
I hate it. I don't like it. No, I hate it, but at the same time, like, I'm just saying, was there problems with me playing through the game? No, I played through the game. I had a blast playing through the game.
Okay, I mean, that's for you. Other people literally got refunds, and they took it off of stores.
Yeah, because the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One versions were garbage. Yeah.
Well, yes, but so was
everything
everything about it. And at the launch, everything was fucked up. No matter what platform you played on,
no, it wasn't. Not everything was fucked up.
There was too many dildos.
Colt played through it too. Me and Colt both played through it and didn't have many issues
Colt
other
had
than
the fucking
crashing.
chat on mute and he wasn't paying attention.
He beat the game.
I know, on
mute.
Out of game mode.
On mute. He didn't even listen to it. Yeah, sure.
He might have done that with God of War 2.
I'm just saying, like, hey, cool, all great, but show me what you're working on. Show me the people.
They deserve the hate. They deserve the hate for what they did.
I thought Saints Row was better than I thought it was going to be, sir. Quote me correctly or I will karate chop you.
That is terrible at quoting.
And I'm going to play Cyberpunk 2077. I played it for about, I think it was 9 to 10 hours, and then my save got, I guess, erased on its own through a bug they had, and I lost my entire playthrough. That's when I stopped. I was like, game breaking. Same with Saints Row. Couldn't get through a mission. It literally would freeze after one mission. This one, I couldn't get past it. And I looked it up, and they're like, yeah, we're going to patch that. I'm like, cool, so I can't play the fucking game.
H-A-T-E, sir.
Yeah.
Shout out to Xbox in the chat, man. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do. Obviously, if they have like some kind of like revenge on their head, like we're gonna bring out a fucking amazing Cyberpunk like we should have, then cool.
Yeah,
I'll be here for it. But until you do, I'm just side eyeing you.
I just love the genre.
Here's another one I got to crush. Elijah, he said, "Ain't no way you defend 2K, but it didn't give Cyberpunk a chance." Secondly, I don't defend 2K. I say, hey, yeah, it's more egregious probably than ever, but it is better in a lot of ways. But I also say I did give Cyberpunk a chance. So there's, just that's what I think.
Not everybody has to like everything.
We gotta go.
I don't understand that.
We got some chats, man. I want to say thanks to everyone that joined us. Seriously, almost 1,200 people tonight on dead ass, no gaming news. Microsoft will be back in a year type shit. I want to thank Gaz for coming on and doing the show. He's awesome. I know he's tired as fuck. And Tim Dog, he'll be back next week. He's house sitting. He's watching his dog, man. He's sending me pictures. Wiener dogs are the best dogs, and that's just a fact. Let me know what kind of dog Fonz eats. And, of course, we're going to do some outros.
Oh.
Hey,
wow.
That happened one time.
One time, hey. There's one time. It still happened.
Okay.
What have you been
Anyways,
playing, Fonzarelli? Or hang on, we're going to get these super chats real quick, and then we'll come back to that.
Yeah.
But again, chat, hit the like button on your way out. Let us know your thoughts. Thank you.
So we got Highlander. He says, great panel as always. The first part of 2023 will be fire for the type and number of games coming from Xbox and Game Pass. Wait till next year, right, everybody? We got Hargeet Chani. He says, at Zalker87 will play Persona as soon as he's finished playing Yakuza. God damn it, Hargeet. We got Hargeet Chani again. Can't you get a free Google Voice number? Smiley face. Look at him trying to hack it already. What a bitch.
Yeah, he's trying to hack it.
We got Nano Polymath. The problem with Stadia was the business model. That's not Xbox's issue or fault. That's on them. They just jumped in for a fast buck. Never was about gamers or gaming. Same as PlayStation, only cash minded. All right. We got Risk It. He says, smart move for Google is the partner with Sony. I mean, Risk It thinks that they're going to partner together. Who knows? It might happen. We got Yodani. Yodani says,
They're
here's an idea.
partnering with the crying, that's for sure.
Yeah, he said, here's an idea. Feet scan authentication anti-cheat. Please send your feet pics to Zalker and he will verify your account. If you send me any feet pic, I will post them and call you out.
He'll post them in his own private stash of feet pics.
Do it.
Hell yeah, spank bang.
I'm sending
we got
3
Hargeet
now.
Chani. Wait, you guys don't have YouTube Premium? You actually watch those stupid ads? I got rid of that years ago. 6 people for $15 a month. So worth it.
You got you speakers, Hargeet. It's not fair.
Yeah. So, oh man, that's expensive.
Yeah, I
Hargeet
got
said,
premium.
fuck y'all.
It's worth it to me.
Yeah.
Is that them? Is that
That's
you?
all of them.
Okay. Xbot, shout out to you. He says the highest dunk rating I've ever seen. Shout out to K Mega too. We've been playing a lot of 2K here recently. It's always good to reconnect with people that's been in this community for longer than me. Fuck, these guys have been around forever, and it's kind of cool to get to know them again. So again, guys, thank you for watching. We're gonna do some outro response. What have you been playing, buddy? And where can people find you?
Mafia 3 again. I'm playing that. I beat it on the PlayStation Pro years ago when that dropped, and I really liked the game. And then I picked it up on Xbox on a sale like last year. It was like $8. I was like, well, definitive edition. Hopefully they'll FPS boost it when they were FPS boosting everything, but they didn't FPS boost that, unfortunately. But I'm enjoying the game. It's still fun. It's still cool. And besides that, just been doing my show on my channel, Fawn's Gaming, and I've been thinking about making videos, but unfortunately the news lately has been just abysmal.
If it's any time for you to make that Cyberpunk review, it's now.
2 years later.
I'd have to replay through it.
Resurgence.
I don't remember everything in Cyberpunk. I'd have to replay that bitch. And plus I have 0 footage because the DVR sucks ass. So anyways.
Look, do it for the people that love you, Fonz.
I don't remember the whole thing. Like it's been a while.
Hey.
Anyways, that's what I've been doing. And I had Dealer on my show Sunday. Check that out if you haven't.
Yeah, I finally did a left nipple reveal, so check that out. And obviously,
and a toe.
By the way, Xbox, he says I like the new look. Yeah, again, internet stuff. They're coming out tomorrow. I have more answers next week. But yeah, it's definitely on them. And fuck them. So it's streaming at 720p, really low bit rate right now. It's actually stayed stable today. No dropped frames, Fonzarelli.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great.
Right. Hey, D-Batch, tell us what you've been playing, buddy, and where can we find you?
I was playing COD last week. This week I've been playing a lot of Spider-Man, and there's another game I've been playing the heck out of, but I can't talk about it because I'm not allowed to talk about it.
Oh, shit.
You guys can find me on Twitter at D_batch, and of course on YouTube at DBatch. And the topics are kind of scarce, but I found a few little interesting things that I found, and I'm probably going to do videos about it this week. So look forward to that. And let's just hope there's an abundance of news regarding the Xbox in the near future, because it's been quite slim lately. But today was a good show. We had some great topics. Thanks for coming by, Gaz. Of course, the rest of the panel, and I'll see you guys next week.
Hey, we've also got Gaz crawling in his little sleeping bag with some warm cookies and milk, and both of them are warm. How, Gaz, what have you been playing with? Where can people find you? You run a website or something?
Yeah, I do.
What?
Stop gleeking into your own face.
I run GameOnDaily.com. Check that out, please. Gaz on Daily on Twitter. Had a great time. I've been playing Proteus for the old school boomer shooters who like Doom. Play that game, and I installed NBA 2K because Dealer's going to teach me about basketball.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, man. Had a great time.
Well,
Based
again,
on-
Gaz is one of the real ones in the community. Seriously, I mean it. No fake
Yeah, he
bullshit
is.
like a lot of people in this community. And that's why we love Gaz. So definitely follow Gaz. Follow Game On. Just type in GameOnDaily.com. You can skip the rest of this outro and go to that website and check it out and be surprised at the quality. And if you click on enough stuff there, Asa will appear in a private chat and he will try to solicit you. Don't fall for it, but he will try. Also, we've got Zalker87, brother. What have you been playing, and where can people find you?
Oh, you guys know where you can find me. Zalker87 on Twitter, Zalker87 on YouTube. I've been playing a fuck ton of games. On Xbox, I've been playing Dante's Inferno, Proteus, Little Nightmares, and Moonscars, just kind of jumping through them whenever I feel like playing. Proteus was cool. Gaz told me about it. Really enjoying it. It's kind of like Doom, but pixelated. On PC, I've been playing a shit ton of Days Gone. I'm at about 26 hours into it, getting close to the end, I believe. Really enjoying that, actually. And then I got my Steam Deck, and I've been fucking going crazy on it. I've been playing Rise Son of Rome on it, and God of War, the first one on the PS3 or PS2, the first one, and almost done with that. It's a lot of fun. So just playing a lot of games, and I'm getting close to kind of beating all of them. God of War, when you look at like older games, they're about like 8-9 hours long, and you're just kind of like going through it like, damn, this is fucking epic. So just having a lot of fun with that, and then getting ready for Gotham Knights and A Plague Tale Requiem. So I'm going to try to beat all those games that I just talked about. And I installed Overwatch 2. I'm going to jump into that because all my friends are playing it, and it's Blizzard. So I'm going to fucking play it because I'm a crackhead. So yeah, thanks everybody for coming. Fucking a lot of topics, and it was a little fun. So yeah.
It was a little fun. You dipped your toe in
Yeah.
some fun. Yeah, so we got
I did.
everyone, right?
I believe so.
You can follow me here on YouTube. Check out my last video if you missed it. Shout out to everyone who watched that. And of course, most importantly, and I mean it, Xbox Live, II space dealer space II, playing a lot of 2K right now, waiting for Scorn, Waldick, whatever the fuck happened in that game. I got the name wrong, by the way. It's not HP Lovecraft, it's HR Geiger.
I said that.
HR Geiger. Yeah, Geiger.
Listen, I just didn't hear you, okay? I saw it in the chat. Thanks for the chat. And no one will ever mow you again. Gotham Knights, the more I look into it, I'm like, I'm ready for a game on this scale again. It's been a minute. So, again, you know, just playing some games. That's probably why.
How much
I
is that
community
Gotham Knights? $70?
700.
700 bucks?
$70 on consoles, $60 on PC.
Yeah, why is
That
that?
shit's stupid too, right there. Like,
Why is that?
because they're fuck faces.
Fuck
But
you people
yeah,
guys.
$70 on Xbox and PlayStation, and only 60 on PC. That's kind of weird. But I guess you guys get what you pay for. All them problems.
Yeah.
Non-optimized game.
Little
Good luck,
pieces of
bitch.
shits. Y'all take
It
that.
just sounds so bitter.
Enjoy your
I hope
your
there is
DLSS 3.0
you know
locked
what?
off behind a graphics card.
Hey, enjoy your
I hope
4K
there-
120,
no.
you fucking whore.
Enjoy your.
I hope
enjoy
there
your
is.
gaming.
I hope there is no lawn to mow in your game.
Yeah, you said my settings would be so low. There is no lawn to mow. There'd be no grass, so I probably won't even get that dialogue. But
God damn it.
I am gonna get the game. I'm gonna play it co-op, 2-player co-op, not 4, and I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. We will we'll talk to your ear holes later.
Later.
It's a wrap back.
This guy. Fuck.
It's a wrap.